Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you for the next 3 hours. Johnny Hill producing as always, and a lot to get to. A very, very, very busy weekend on all fronts. I mean, college basketball, NBA, NFL. We had a little college football news. MLB, Shohei Ohtani finally picked his landing spot. A ton to get to. We'll try to get to as much as we possibly can over the next 3 hours. Some great guests joining us later in the show. But, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I am doing well, and you're right. There's so many different sports from the weekend that made big, screaming headline news. I know you're plenty happy. Hey there, Johnny. I know you're plenty happy, and your Tigers won. Right. Our Cowboys won.
Our Cowboys won. We got the Micah Parsons jersey on. Let's go.
And I'm so happy for Shohei Ohtani, who is just toiled in the small market, off the beaten path, Nowheresville through most of his career, and now he's already been in Los Angeles most of his career. I'm being told.
House, huh? Yeah, interesting.
Now he's in a bigger. He's in the same market, isn't he?
That's right. That's correct.
So we're not going to get to see him, before midnight any more than we already were seeing him.
That's right. Just went to the better team. In that market. That was crazy. And I think, me and John Harden were talking about this earlier today, and it seemed like and we talked about this Friday, Brett, but the craziest thing was not how much money, to me at least, was not how much money he got. I assumed he would get a ton of money. It would not surprise me, whatever the number was. But just the reporting that went around Shohei Ohtani, he was very kind of closed-mouthed about it all, didn't really want anybody to know what he was doing. But then Friday, Brett, we talked about it on Friday, all of the speculation of, all right, Toronto's in there. He's in Toronto. We were plane watching. There were reporters that were flying up to the Toronto to try to get any information about
Toronto betting markets.
Yeah, it was incredible. Brett, I saw a bunch of Toronto home games were being sold out right after the news that they might be a favorite. And then the whole time, Shohei's just hanging out at his house and decides Saturday morning, okay, enough fun. I'll just let everybody know that I'm going to be a Dodger.
Who knew the whole time the Blue Jays had the same chance as the Cardinals in landing Shohei Ohtani, which was just statistically at or near 0%. No, the reporting was really bad because he didn't leak at all, and that's what irritated the baseball writers led by 90/100% Buster Olney, and because he couldn't get it first, he kind of wanted to disgrace the whole deal. And he stays in Los Angeles. No big shocker. Also in Los Angeles. And the party is still going on. The champagne's still flowing from the big in-season tournament.
That's right.
And I asked scoffingly Friday, would there be a confetti cannon? Would there be a stage? Would there be a big elaborate deal made out of it? I don't know that big a deal was made out of it when Jerry West won his one title in NBA.
That's right.
He's got Jerry West won as a player with the Lakers the same number of titles as they have in-season tournaments. I swear, I think they celebrated that Saturday bigger.
It was a big party in Las Vegas, Brett, and it should have been. I mean, first in-season tournament, a smashing success.
Q Foreigner feels like the first time.
That's right. The team they wanted to win it all won it. I mean, the NBA's whole master plan.
Anthony Davis mugging like he was playing like he was playing in the in-season tournament finals.
Right. That's right. And
that's the game face he had on.
And then they had the champagne ready in the locker rooms, and
it flowed freely, didn't it?
It was beautiful.
Got me right in my feels Saturday night, didn't it yours?
I mean, I fired up We Are the Champions and just watched the celebration. But, I mean, honestly,
what an Anthony Davis, LeBron James chapter in storied Laker land. They've won a bubble title,
That's
and
right.
now they've won the in-season
tournament. That's right. And honestly, good for LeBron. I mean, way to play it up, LeBron, because we know he wants to be an owner. He wants to be very involved with the team. I mean, that's what you got to do is when there's this silly in-season tournament and you go win it, you got to act like it's the greatest finals of all time. And, yeah, let's go. We won it. We're the champions. I mean, you got to play it up.
It wasn't just let's go. It was let's go.
Oh, absolutely. But, you got to play it up so that Adam Silver looks over and says, that's who I want running a team.
That's the face of my league.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And think of all those towns like us. The number of times people, for that one time a year, to go to see LeBron James.
Yeah.
He had to sit out those nights.
Yep.
He didn't do that to the in-season tournament.
No, it's a big deal, Brett. The in-season tournament, and we're playing for hardware here.
Wonder what LeBron's doing with that $500,000 he won. I know he needs it.
Well, he needed it. He used it to get to USC the next day for his son's debut.
How much jet fuel will 500,000 buy you? Couple gallons.
Brett, I am not. I do not have the money to even talk about private jets.
I
wouldn't even know gas for it.
I don't know the net jet world.
No, I do not. But no, I mean,
I know waiting at the Delta counter, and that's not very glamorous.
Yeah, no. Next time I've never flown. I flew when I was like a baby, but but next time when I fly, I'll ask him. How much does the gas cost on
what's
these
the going
things?
rate?
Yeah, what's the going rate? But
out at Memphis Air.
That's right. But hey, good for the Lakers, good for LeBron, and this in-season tournament is not going anywhere. It was a massive success, I think, for the NBA, and I'm sure
I know for a fact from a NBA league source, I was told that literally the memo email went out. You better make this a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Any comment, any suggestion, we're making this a big deal.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what the number of comp tickets in the building was. Because just every 2 seconds, it was this glamorous star and this star and this person from sport and this person from NBA legend. I wonder if anybody was in the building that really paid.
No, I don't think so. I'm sure a lot of emails went out. Hey, you want to come to the inaugural in-season tournament finals, the championship game of the in-season tournament? And people, okay, sure, I'll go to Vegas. Why not?
Do you realize the number of memes that are going to go around come springtime in the NBA playoffs when the Lakers are up against an elimination game or struggling to get through a playoff game?
Yeah, plenty. I mean, but hey, they already have hardware this season, so they're just, they're just playing the rest of the season. I mean, Michael Jordan, what was he doing Saturday night when he was sitting there watching LeBron hoist an in-season trophy, do something that he never did? He was laughing. He was laughing. Yes.
Is
1-0, Johnny.
You're playing your role.
Yes.
And a lot of it was laughable. What wasn't laughable is, and we're going to get to it a lot, is what happened yesterday down in College Station with the Tigers in a week that Memphis had to have, and it's why it was so important to gnash out that win Wednesday night because it set up yesterday to be what yesterday was and is, and you already see the benefit in the net. The Tigers up 24 spots in the net, landing at 40, one spot behind. Did you notice?
No, I haven't looked at the net. I mean, I knew they rose, but I haven't actually looked at the net to see who's around them.
One spot behind Kentucky at 39.
Wow. How about
and
that?
One spot in front of McNeese that beat Virginia Common at 41.
Wow, McNeese getting Will Wade back this week. I mean, a big week. They put out a video on Twitter, but I'm so glad we brought up McNeese so I can talk about this. They posted a video on Twitter today where it is Will Wade. I don't know where they filmed this, but it's like a saloon, and they put like a record on it. It's this like old Western record, and then you see a figure riding a horse coming up to the saloon, and then he's got like a mask on his face, like a little bandana around his mouth and his nose, and he walks in, and all the players are sitting there with cowboy hats on and their jerseys, and they're all kind of like tipping their hat at him, and then he sits down at the bar.
Buckle up.
And he pulls down, it's Will Wade sitting there, and then they're like, the Cowboys back or something like that. I was like, let's go.
Saddle up, man.
Oh, man, it got me fired
Circle
up.
the wagons.
I don't know when McNeese plays again. I don't know a single player on their team, but I'm fired up for their next game. I'll tell you that.
I don't either. Also in the net at 48, Villanova that won a big game over the weekend, and the Tigers really need Villanova and Mizzou and Arkansas.
Yes.
More the teams they won over than Villanova to get right. Arkansas, bad out of whack. They're way down at 100.
It's been.
Well, I'm sorry, 103.
Whew, wow.
And that ain't Rock 103.
No.
Arkansas at 103.
Wow.
That's with a win over Duke.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, they've been so up and down, and I thought that win over Duke would still hold, but that's not. I think that Duke win's is a quad 1 win, right? Or is it a quad 2 win?
Duke is.
Because I remember seeing people talking about that on Twitter. Maybe at the
it's
time.
quad 2.
Wow. So that
Arkansas listed right now is 0-3 in quad 1.
Wow.
1-0 quad 2. That would be Duke.
Wow, that's incredible. I didn't. I thought I remembered people, because that was back when Memphis was 70 or whatever they debuted at, and both of those, Memphis and Duke, they were saying was a quad 2 game, and so.
Was it the win of the year yesterday for the Tigers?
Certainly. I mean, that
no
was
doubt.
the
no doubt.
most complete game.
I'm glad you went quickly with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. That was the most complete game they played all season, even
on
when
the
you
road.
Win. Yeah, on the road in a tough environment.
Goofy, hostile house.
Team. Goofy is the emphasis word there, but
they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the most complete game, and I think coming in, I think we all assumed David Jones would play and be, pretty healthy, but then when you get the reports that he didn't practice and whatever, but he came out and looked unbelievable. I thought JQ played really well. I thought a lot of guys played well, but Nicholas Jourdain, he did not. If you just look at his box score, you're like, okay, decent game. But he did a ton of things in that game yesterday that just don't appear on the box, where he's extremely active, and I thought it was a big part of that win.
Even the ugly win Wednesday night that we were pretty matter-of-fact about it.
Yeah.
A win is a win.
Absolutely.
There were plenty of things to take away from it, though. Sure. Not a lot of them were real good, other than it was a win. That win Wednesday night and that win yesterday goes to show the power of taking care of business, going and winning games.
That's right.
Then then it does all the talking for you.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does, and you can, be in a position now where you just went to College Station and beat, I think, a really good Texas A&M team, and now you've got two opponents coming right up on the schedule, both in the top 25, both at home, and because you handled your business, as ugly as it might have been against VCU, you're really rolling right now. I mean, you could look really good after these two games.
As the week develops, we'll talk about what a sweep over these two Tobacco Road games at home, what that would do. I don't think the Tigers have to sweep now.
No.
Because they got that free shot yesterday and took it and won the game in fine style, regardless what the final score. Anybody watch that game knows who was in control from the jump. With a sweep over those two and just taking care of business in the AAC, the Tigers now could be in that 3, 4, 5 range come Selection Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. You take care of business, and I think you're looking really good. And I know we talked a lot about it before the season started, but that, again, is why Penny Hardaway made a schedule like he did. We know that the conference play is not going to be great at all, and you're going to see a lot of teams that are going to be quad 3, quad 4 opponents, and so you had to load up in the non-conference, and to see this team with so many new bodies, and we saw the story that came out by Mark Giannotto after that VCU game. You saw it a little bit in that VCU game, but for them to rally together against Texas A&M really shows how talented this group of guys is.
And we're trying, we are trying, as a show, we are trying very hard to get some type of mailing address where we can maybe get one of those big, giant, almost like the golf tournament checks they give away on 18.
I like that, yeah.
We want to get together a big get well soon card for Jordan Brown.
That's right.
And have our listeners sign it. And I'm trying to get us a good address where we can send it.
I like that. I think that's a good idea. You know, that pesky illness is still bugging them.
Hey, I know the crud. I've had the crud for about 2 weeks now, and it can really lay with you.
It can. And,
I'm 61 though. But,
well, that's a good point. But you know, the illnesses are rolling around. It's that time of the year, Brett. And
it is that time of the year.
It is, and you know,
it is a lot of crud, a lot of stuff.
But here's the thing, Brett. You know, a whole week off. He should be healthy by Saturday.
Sure, I want to, but we're going to try to get a good number for us to just flood it with a lot of get well soon, big guy.
I like it, and especially big guy. Let's get healthy. But yeah, he was out again yesterday. But really, the Tigers didn't need him. I mean, I thought a really good group effort because when you look at Malcolm Dandridge, he didn't play a lot. 12 minutes for him. Fouled out, was in foul trouble early, but they really relied on a lot of different guys. Jaquan Walton with 7 rebounds. I said Nick Jourdain had a really, really good game, even though he finished with only 3 rebounds. I thought it was just a solid force down low, and they really needed everybody against a really good offensive rebounding team in Texas A&M, and they really kind of held them to their average. 16 offensive rebounds. I know that's a lot, but when you're looking at Texas A&M, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, I think that was a pretty good job against that group. So,
and yesterday we did, we always do, and we keep it honestly and accurately. I sent out yesterday morning for our Tiger bankroll, and I must tell our listening audience, I was the only one to have the Memphis Tigers plus 7.5.
You were, yep.
You was.
Mm-hmm. Even Johnny went against the Tigers.
First time this season.
2 diplomas. 2 diplomas. Well, 2 degrees from the university.
Me and Johnny have actually been talking, and we think we're going to put our degrees together. If we can, we're going to get with the graduation department at the University of Memphis. We're going to put our degrees together, and we're going to, a big, giant Memphis degree that you can hang on that wall behind you from the University of Memphis for that effort yesterday.
Yes, because that was amazing, Brett. That was amazing on you.
Oh, Brett, he stayed with the Tigers yesterday, and not just a little bitty wager.
Big
Tigers.
spender.
That was a big spender, man.
All of us were big spenders yesterday.
We was. I was feeling good until I see that
$235 wager to take me to $1,400 for the year. That means I started with 1,000. I'm now at $1,400. That's 40% on your money. No private equity bankers delivering you 40% on your money, but I am.
You are. Good picking by you.
Try getting 40% on a CD.
That's true.
That is true.
Johnny Hill, 150 on A&M, drops down to 790. Bryant Dacus, 100 on A&M. Drops down to 1,100.
Hey, we're still in the positive. We're still in the green, Brett.
Yeah, we're still in the green.
Not you, Johnny. You're in the red.
I'm 6-3 I'm 6-3 on the year. Bryant 6-3 on the year.
Wow.
Johnny's 4-5 on the year.
I'm in debt.
Johnny, we got to figure it out.
And the alumni office is calling as we speak, and wanting both of y'all to have to work extra time in the fundraising department for the
bigger
university.
Donations next year because of our discipline.
One Memphis Tiger taker yesterday, and it was me.
Well, Brett, I mean, I was kicking myself after I made that pick. Busy weekend. I sat down, thought about it for a second. I just had this feeling that
I had a feeling
wrong.
too.
You know the feeling I had?
The Tigers were going to win.
The Tigers were going to win because Buzz Williams still the coach at A&M.
Well, Brett, that's a great point. And I must say, the vest on Buzz was as good as always yesterday.
Buzz's act is really bad, isn't it?
It's really bad. It's really bad.
I mean, it's 2 years in a row the Tigers have really taken care of them easily. And, Brian, you remember the number of times we came back last year to how that game really kept the Tigers not propped up, because they did the work. Sure. The propped up sounds doesn't sound glowing enough, but it kept them in good stead.
Yes.
And we also said that was the one real good game last year for Chandler Lawson.
Yes.
If he did nothing else last year,
that was
his contribution in that one
that's right
was big. Now Mizzou, Arkansas, A&M, one of those three is going to win about every single night the SEC plays.
Oh, absolutely.
That's going to keep the Tigers buttressed, supported.
Yeah, you need that. And so, they have really how good the SEC is, year in and year out. You can now look back when conference play starts, beginning of January. Tigers can look up and look at these three SEC teams that they've beaten to start this season, and they all three of those I think can do a lot in SEC play.
Sure
to
can
help the Tigers out. So
I think Mizzou in the net's at 90.
Ooh, yeah. I mean that Jackson State loss will do it to you.
91. Excuse me.
Wow. Well, I mean, hey, they can turn it around in conference play. A lot of great opponents for them coming up on the season.
They'll get a lot of opportunity.
They will. They'll get a lot of opportunities. Let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day at 3:30. We're going to get back into this conversation, talk about what the Tigers did yesterday in College Station, beating Texas A&M. The road ahead, 2 top 25 opponents on the schedule, back-to-back opportunities for the Tigers at home. We'll talk all of that in our next segment. 3:45, the Grizzlies also in action tonight. They play the Mavericks. And Brett, a little side note here about the Mavericks. They practiced at Lori Walton yesterday, where the Tigers usually practice. So a little Tiger love there from the Mavericks on their Twitter page. I saw that earlier. But we'll talk about this game tonight, Grizzlies versus Mavericks at FedEx Forum. 4 o'clock, David Cobb from CBS Sports will join us to talk college football and college basketball. At 4:30, we'll get to our Sissies look back at the weekend in the SEC, and it's all about the Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels. It was announced Saturday night. He was the winner. I think is the guy I've been saying for most of the year I thought would win it, and I thought deservingly so. We'll talk about him during our look back at the weekend at 4:30. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Jonah Dillon, who usually joins us at 3:30. He's going to join us at 5 o'clock to talk Tiger football. He's the Tiger football beat writer at the Commercial Appeal. A lot to talk about. We got to talk about this bowl game. We got to talk about some of the departures for the University of Memphis into the transfer portal. Also, Tigers in need for a new defensive coordinator. So we'll get to all of that with Jonah at 5 o'clock. 5:30, we'll get to our Roost Chris Monday Night Football pick and preview. Also, our top 4 quarterbacks combined from all 4 teams. It can be anybody because we have 2 games tonight. So any of those 4 teams, just 4 quarterbacks from any of them, that will make up our list for today. Then at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Taco Bell Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure's Christmas sale is on. They've got excellent deals on pool tables, shuffleboards, and saunas. Are you tired and sore from all the shopping? Check out their huge selection of in-stock hot tubs and massage chairs. Surprise the kids with new arcade, game table, or play gym. Gifts for the whole family to enjoy. And also on sale, theater seating, outdoor kitchens and grills, patio furniture, and fire pits. Family Leisure wants to wish all of y'all a Merry Christmas from their family to yours. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We're Sports Time, and we're here until 6 o'clock. Johnny Hill's our producer, Bryant Dacus, Brett Norsworthy, and we want you to be a part of it as well at 901-360-8255. This hour of our show brought to you every day by the one and only Lexus dealership in town. That is Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on the very, very few remaining 2023s. The 2024s, they're there. Happy 2024, essentially, at Lexus of Memphis. Always special leasing options. Call them at 901-334-9673. Get by there and look at all those beautiful cars and how decorated nicely the showroom and the whole building is for the holiday season. What a great feeling that would be to have a car with that big ribbon around it on Christmas morning. Thank you, Santa. Thank you, Lexus of Memphis. Driving luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2024 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day is what we just got done talking about and what we're going to talk about in our next segment. The win of the season for the Memphis Tigers. And really, that game, a lot on the line, I think, because Brett, if we came in today talking after a Tigers loss, I think we would be saying, okay, a really good opponent in Texas A&M. They're ranked at their place, tough environment to win.
Understood.
But there'd be a lot of people that would be saying, this team has now lost 3 of their last 4. The one
Good
win
point.
against VCU was pretty scary. One player is sick, and there's a lot of rumors going around that he's just fed up with what has happened, and he's quit the team.
Boy, hope he's not a carrier. Hope he doesn't get everybody else infected.
That's a great point. But there would have been a lot of talk about this team going into 2 really important games against Clemson and Virginia. But that's not what happened over the weekend, because the Tigers went down to College Station yesterday and handled business against a really good Texas A&M team. Defensively, they played really, really well. I mean, as much as we talked after the last couple of games about defensively, they haven't been all that. I thought they looked really good.
18% three-point shooting for that.
Yeah, I mean, a really impressive defense, which that hasn't been what we've been saying after some of these previous games. They've been giving up kind of the three-pointer a lot, but I thought really good defensively. David Jones, I mean, the season he is having has been unbelievable. He was named today the AAC Player of the Week with 29 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 steals yesterday. 5 for 9 from 3, but he also had a lot of help from Javon Quinterly, who added 24, and Caleb Mills, who had 13 off the bench. I just thought all around these guys were clicking. They played, I mean, extremely well. I mean, not a lot you can say about the win because it was really easy most of the day. They made it look easy on the road in an opposing gym against a top 25 team. And Brett, you mentioned, you look at the score and you go, oh man, that was close. That game came down to the wire. It really didn't. I mean, Tigers up by double digits with about 2 minutes left. They were in complete control all of that game, and that is what we need to see game after game, that consistency. If they can get that consistency there of what we saw yesterday, this Tigers team will be a very dangerous team to play.
You know, on the has anybody checked on people lately?
Yeah.
Has anybody checked on Hayden Hefner?
No, I haven't.
Because he was in a game with men, and he didn't. What didn't fit was Hayden Hefner.
Yes.
The Tigers with a big win. Another Tiger with a big win over the weekend, and that's my top story, rather. My top story is Jaden Daniels becoming the 16th Heisman Trophy winner for the SEC. George Rogers and John David Crow won before South Carolina and Texas A&M joined the SEC. Frank Sinkwich in 1942 was the first Heisman Trophy winner for the SEC, and now Jaden Daniels joins him. In the SEC currently, right now, Bama with 4 winners, Auburn with 3, Florida with 3, LSU with 3, Georgia with 2, A&M with 2, South Carolina with 1. Coming into the SEC, Oklahoma with 7, and Texas with 2. So next year, out of 16 teams in the SEC, 9 will have Heisman Trophy winners, 7 will not. The 7 without: Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Mizzou, Arkansas, Vandy, Kentucky, and Tennessee. And I think Tennessee is the best player to never win a major. They're the best school out there that's never had a Heisman Trophy winner.
Not top story of the day.
I mean, Jaden Daniels winning it on Saturday. It wasn't a surprise for me, but I was glad he won it. I mean, an unbelievable
I voted
season.
Daniels 1, Penix 2, Bodacious 3.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of people probably voted that way. That's probably how I would have voted, as much as I don't like Bo Nix. But that's beside the point. You know, give him third.
I had that moment myself that I'm really voting for Patrick Nick's son for the Heisman Trophy.
That's great. Oh, that's great. My not top story of the day. I've actually got 2 stories, but I'm going to put them together because how could I not use this moment, Brett, to talk about our Dallas Cowboys on the big stage last night, Sunday Night Football. And we talk about people making it look easy. Don't give me that look, Johnny. The Cowboys made it look easy against the Eagles last night. And Brett, what have I been hearing from so many people in the national media? Do it against a good team. Johnny, have you been hearing that? People have been saying,
Glad I never said that.
Oh, they've been doing it against these bad teams. They'll do it against the Giants. They'll do it against the Commanders. But
Been doing it against Mercer and College of Charleston.
But the 49ers and the Eagles,
I give y'all credit.
Last night, they stepped up to the table and really looked like one of the best teams in the NFL. Also, got to give credit to Shohei Ohtani. I mean, great job by him. I mean, go get your bag. Work. Stay in your house. Stay in L.A. Yeah. Good work. Don't let the media get all over it. Good job, Shohei. Good
job. My not top story, Memphis Tigers did some serious Selection Sunday work this past week by averting disaster on Wednesday night. Sometimes that's just all you have to do is not have disaster, and then showing up and shining up that resume yesterday in College Station. Really control the game, start to finish, now 7-2, before the duo of Clemson and Virginia come into town. Can see a great seed. Can see this week with 2 wins turn into a great seed. Already with 3 wins over the SEC, with 1 more against Vandy. And this week, 1-1 or 2-0 against the ACC. Then Selection Sunday work is set.
Yeah, no, it'll be easy. I mean, a lot of people complaining about the top 25 today. Well, Brett,
cares?
You got 2 AP top 25 opponents coming up on the schedule. Handle business, and you don't got to worry about the top 25.
Handle business.
You got to worry about if you're in the top 15 if you can handle both of these games. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. We're having fun on a Monday afternoon. We're late for a break, so let's grab it real quick. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Tigers' win over Texas A&M. That's next on Sports Time.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Everyone needs protection, whether you're on the field or on the road, so make sure you have the best. Bob Simpson State Farm Insurance can buckle you up with auto insurance, can back you up with life and health insurance, cover your business whether it's starting, growing, or maturing, and don't forget to insure your home, no matter if you're an owner or a renter. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Bob Simpson today at 901-381-1233 or go online and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson.
All 650 acquisition fees, Sportage R723 5498, MSRP 28940, Sorrento PG 424,710, MSRP 33,010, Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38,705, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/2/2024 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Hey, my man Jeff Allen, what's going on for the holidays over at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
It's the season of giving back at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, and I've got your holiday presents right here.
Tell us about it, Jeff.
Award-winning SUV 2024 Kia Sportage LX, $299 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia Sorrento LX, perfect for your road trips, $329 a month. And the 2024 Kia Telluride LX, we got it at $459 a month, all 36-month lease.
Well, you can't get much better than that, Jeff. And all Kias come with the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah. And from all of us at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah, happy holidays.
Oh no, your little one has caught a cold and has a cough. Help them feel better fast with DayQuil Kids from Vicks. It's specifically formulated just for kids, and it helps treat their most bothersome cold symptoms. It's also available in 2 delicious flavors, honey and berry. DayQuil Kids is the daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Pick it up at your local pharmacy or any major retailer today. For kids 6 and up, use as directed.
The season has changed. You know how I know? It's finally here, the Family Leisure Christmas Sale. Excellent deals on pool tables, shuffleboards, and saunas. Oh, we're just beginning. Tired and sore from shopping? Check out the huge selection in stock of hot tubs and massage chairs. Oh, and you can surprise the kids with the best stuff, like a new arcade, a game table, even a play gym. Gifts for the whole family to enjoy and enjoy together. Also on sale, theater seating, outdoor kitchens and grills, patio furniture, and fire pits. Merry Christmas from our family to yours. That's Family Leisure of Memphis. Every year we wait. They always deliver. They've done it again. The Family Leisure Christmas Sale is happening at I-40 and Whitten Road. That's 2120 Whitten Road to be exact. That's the place of shopping heaven. Family Leisure, where family and fun all come together.
Whether it's date night, a birthday, or just because, raise a steak in celebration at Ruth's Chris. Open in the Regalia Shopping Center at the corner of Poplar and Ridgeway. Treat yourself to one of our classic USDA prime beef steaks, seasoned and broiled to perfection. Then serve sizzling hot on one of Ruth's signature 500-degree plates. Visit Ruth'sChris.com to make a reservation. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, Memphis. This is how celebrating more is done.
The wrap-up the year sales event is on at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. How about 2023 Fiat 500X, $22,990. 2023 Jeep Renegade, $24,990. 2023 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4XE, $499 a month. 2023 Grand Wagoneer 111 4x4, $10,000 off. And 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, $28,990. Now that's the best holiday list you'll find anywhere, and we guarantee it. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett on the Pike, or shop online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motorcars.
2023 Fiat 500X, stock number PP990492, MSRP 31355, Renegade PPP 75091, MSRP 30040, Wrangler MSRP 69870, Wagoneer PS 508331, MSRP 112285, Charger PH 636172, MSRP 35825, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 12/31/23 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, the Tigers were the big winners over the weekend. A 81-75 win over Texas A&M down in College Station, and it was pretty easy most of the afternoon. They trailed early, but really controlled a lot of the game, and a lot of that had to do with David Jones. Another unbelievable performance from the St. John's transfer. And Brett, after all the conversation preseason through the first couple of games of the season of who's that guy on the team, it is very clearly David Jones.
He is, and maybe the guy right now in college basketball. Yeah. And Bryant, what a difference a week makes. This is what the fuel of a big win will do over the despair of a rough loss. Mm-hmm. And the Tigers have certainly gotten themselves the ship righted. I don't know what the status of Jordan Brown is. I don't feel like he will be a part of this team going forward, even without him. Mm-hmm. I peeked in and watched a lot of college basketball over the weekend. There was a lot on.
Yeah, there was a ton on.
I don't want to be too over the top with this because I pretty much thought it before.
Okay.
Certainly before the Ole Miss loss. Uh-huh. That did dissuade me a little, but not a lot. And the other night in the win at Virginia Common rattled it a little. Uh-huh. And this might be a little more heat of the moment coming out of Saturday. But I think the Tigers have one of the top 15 rosters in the country.
Top 20. I would agree with.
Okay. Okay, I'll go with that.
I could be swayed to top 15. But, I mean, you're right. I mean, how old this team is, the experience on
interchangeable parts.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this team, we knew that there were pros and cons to bringing in so many veteran pieces. But for the most part, so far through 8 games, it's worked out.
Against a really brutal schedule. Now, most of the time late in the game, I want Quinterly on the ball, but they can slide a couple other people on the ball. Sure. I don't think we've seen a possession of zone this year, have we?
No, I don't think so.
If they had to, they could mix up some zone and really flummox some teams. Protecting Dandridge now with the insecurity of Brown, it will be big. But we also know, except for a couple of teams, this is not an aircraft carrier age of college basketball.
No, not at all. not at all. I mean, we've seen that shift of using the portal and getting older and having these experienced guys and, and a lot of versatile guards is kind of what you want. And I think
wings, man.
David Jones
Run
is
the
one
world.
of those versatile guards that is, big enough he can go in and get 7 rebounds like he did yesterday, but can also knock down threes and drive to the cup. I mean, it's a guard sport now, and I think they've got some really good and really versatile guards, and even a guy like Nick Jourdain, who is not huge by any means. I think 6'9", maybe 6'10", but he can get down there and really do some good things in the front court.
And I heard Matt Dillon say this during their broadcast, maybe at the conclusion of it, when he asked rhetorically, when was the last time somebody out-rebounded Texas A&M?
Yeah. I mean,
the Tigers did by 2.
Yeah, and Texas A&M has just been that's what you heard of all season. No matter, they're a great three-point shooting team. They're a great this team. They're a great that team. Everyone says Texas A&M a great rebounding team, and you can look at the numbers. You can look at the advanced analytics. It all points to this team really rebounds the ball well. And Tigers, I mean, it seemed like that was an emphasis for Penny Hardaway. It seems like it's been an emphasis over the last couple of weeks of we've got to get rebounds. We've got to limit offensive rebounds, and it all came together yesterday.
These numbers, and particularly on the road at a tough place to play.
Yeah.
There are tougher, but that is a tough place to play.
Very.
Standalone Sunday afternoon game, big game, crowd into it, and that fan base ready to cheer for anything good. I mean, they're ready for that. Tigers shoot 48% from the field. They shoot 41% from the three-point line, 76% from free throws.
Yeah.
Man, you take that and you copy and paste that every time out, and you're going to win a lot.
Absolutely. And I think, the second half performance from them is really what I was really impressed with, because even though, they got outscored in the second half by 3 points, whatever, the shooting percentages is what really stood out to me. 55.5% from 3 in the second half, 52% from the field in the second half. That's what you need against top 25 teams in the second half, because it would have been very easy for any team. Okay, great first half. Let's try to do it in the second half and then come out a little flat because you have a lead, and then a top 25 team like Texas A&M will jump all over that and get right back into the game, and could easily make that a 10-point game, a huge 20-point swing very easily. But the Tigers didn't let them do that. The Tigers still kept with it and really forced the issue all game long.
And maul their starting guards, Hefner,
Yes.
Radford.
Yes, no, I mean, really, I was really impressed by what they did defensively. There have been conversations between us this year, Brett, of, defensively in this game, they haven't looked great. They haven't done this well, that well. I thought from start to finish, they were locked in on the defensive end yesterday.
Holiday season's here. 2 weeks from today is Christmas Day.
Holy cow.
Just let that rest.
Oh,
3 weeks from today is 2024.
Make it stop. Slow it down.
Make it stop. And a great place to enjoy the holidays, and the perfect gift is Ghoul Salon and Spa. They've been turning heads at the holiday season since 1932, and that Ghoul's gift card's always the perfect size, the perfect color. To break it out for any holiday event, to be a stocking stuffer, to be the big gift, put a ribbon around a big old gift card from Ghoul's, and everybody will be really happy. A family affair with sons and grandsons and granddaughters, valuable associates that have been with them through all the holidays, all these years, all the great locations from downtown to out east. Go to ghoulsalonspa.com and find out about all the great products they have. Over 90 years of distinction, 300 associates, making our area feel so very good, exclusive to our area. And the best holiday gift for any season is a Ghoul's gift card. Go to ghoulsalonspa.com and find out more, and find out about that truly professional and unique fashion experience that you can enjoy, that's been realized by the Ghoul's family through all these years from 1932 to now. ghoulsalonspa.com for the Ghoul's gift card. We're in the home stretch of holiday parties, and that is a hit for everyone. In 2 weeks from today, it would be a hit under the tree for the holiday and the Christmas season. Go to ghoulsalonspa.com.
Well, Brett, we've talked a lot about the Tigers and Texas A&M, but now 2 big games for the Tigers. I know we have a lot of time to talk about both of these games with Clemson coming up on Saturday and then Virginia.
Sets up like a college football week, doesn't it?
It really does. It 100% does. But Clemson has been really impressive this year, 9-0. They're in the top 25, I think 13 this week in the AP top 25, and have beaten some pretty good teams this year. Their last game against TCU on a neutral site was a good win. Beat an undefeated South Carolina team, an Alabama team that a lot of people had high hopes for. And then you see Virginia, and I think Virginia, there's not a win on Virginia's schedule that really jumps out to me. They also beat Texas A&M, a very different game for them against Texas A&M, a 59-47 win for Virginia. Sounds like a Virginia game.
That's their style.
Yeah, it 100% is. But outside of that, I think Florida, their best win. They've played a lot of mid-major teams to start the season, but 2 games that are going to be really important for Penny Hardaway's team.
Right now, Clemson 13 at the net and Virginia 20, and they're going to stay in those spots all year long. And a 1-1 against them would be great. A 2-0, and you truly just let all what you've already done go out there and do the rest of the work for you, and you just take care of business. And in the AAC, that we know what it's about. It's really going to set up for the 2 big games against FAU and probably going to be a toe stubber on the road somewhere there. That's sure. Okay. I had 15-3 in the AAC, and that's kind of built in. That won't be that bad a deal. That won't be freak out. That'll be nothing like last Monday.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean,
because so much other good work has been done.
Yes. You have this non-conference slate that you can look back to, and also, I mean, things happen in conference slate. You're playing Tuesday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday. I mean, it is a lot.
3
of work.
people have the crud on a road trip, and something happened. It could happen out at East Carolina. It could happen to UAB. Well, UAB got blasted Saturday at Arkansas State.
Sure did. And that Arkansas State team has kind of struggled under a new head coach and a lot of new pieces. But I mean, it's gonna be a lot of that in conference play. You're gonna see a lot of teams that are not having good years, but you're gonna have to go in and not play down to competition to win a lot of these games.
I'll call it now. Even with Saturday afternoon against Clemson, and it should be big electric crowd next Tuesday night against Virginia, same thing. I don't think a 0-2 week is derailing. Now, it doesn't get you up there in the 3, 4, 5 category. No. It probably keeps you more in the 7, 8, 6, 7, 6, 7 category with taking care of business. Now, you couldn't have 2 toe stubbers in the AAC.
No.
May not be able to have that anyway because it's so depressed.
Just so bad, yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough, and it's really just going to be how does this selection committee look at the conference as a whole once we get to March.
Well, we saw last year that they looked at it of, okay, you went out and won a lot of games after having good work in non. Good enough in non.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll look at it a similar way.
But it's very similar. The basketball committee, year to year, it can it can really change. Holiday season is amongst us, and we know the perfect place for food for the big day 2 weeks from today, or really at any time during the holiday and Christmas season, and that's from the commissary, 901-754-5540. So many people did at Thanksgiving. Go online at commissarybbq.com to order the turkeys and the hams and all the holiday pricing that you can find out about online, or by calling 901-754-5540, and they will take care of you. All the turkey and ham that for any group, whatever size group you want, they got you covered, and they've got all the delicious food like the smoked turkey, the homemade cornbread dressing, the gravy, the cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, green beans, rolls, butter, plates, utensils. They do it all except clean up for you. They're ready for you for this round of holidays. If you had it during Thanksgiving, you know all about it. If you didn't, you need to find out about it at 901-754-5540 or online at commissarybbq.com. And we know about the barbecue there over 40 years, since 1981 at the commissary in Germantown and now at the Collierville commissary at Houston Levy and Poplar. Perfect for a big group in this last 2-week home stretch of a get-together, an office party, fun times. They are the place to go. If you're craving an easier way to order right now, text commissary to 33733. All the appetizers and all the barbecue. The Memphis-style barbecue and ribs done the Memphis way, the slow-cooked way, and the desserts, all the sides. Call 901-754-5540 or go online at commissarybbq.com. In Collierville and Germantown, the party areas, orders to go, catering, tailgating, and always time for the holidays to order the bird. Go online at commissarybbq.com.
Well, let's get to a break. On the other side, we'll talk about tonight's game between the Grizzlies and the Mavericks.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
Roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Memphis, home of the blues, world-renowned barbecue, and award-winning craft beers. Now you can take a dive into these great libations with City Brew Tours Memphis. City Brew Tours Memphis offers a craft beer adventure with behind-the-scenes access to local breweries. See for yourself how craft beer is made, learn about different styles of beer, delve into beer history, and discover the secrets behind the Memphis brews. Best of all, with City Brew Tours, you will take your taste buds on a journey with beer tastings at each brewery stop, complemented by local snacks to munch on. City Brew Tours handles transportation to the breweries, too. You drink, they drive. Looking for the perfect gift idea this holiday season? Treat your loved ones to an unforgettable experience. A local craft beer tour with City Brew Tours Memphis. Head over to citybrewtours.com/Memphis and brew up your craft beer adventure today.
Kevin Harlan here from Westwood One, inviting you to join me and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner every Monday this season. It's Westwood One's 45th year of bringing you primetime NFL games, and the schedule is packed with great matchups. Plus, you'll hear Rich Eisen from the studios with interviews and the latest news around the NFL. Don't miss any of the action every week on Monday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting parlay bets together, hammering the overs, and anytime player touchdown bets always have me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. It expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, the Grizzlies back in action tonight at home at FedEx Forum against the Dallas Mavericks. It'll be the Grizzlies' first game since Friday when they lost again to the Minnesota Timberwolves in a 127-103 game on Friday. Brett, you were at that game Friday night. What did you see from the Grizzlies that really seemed like they were kind of rolling and then get blown out again at home?
Get blown out again. It was maybe rock bottom at home for the year, especially after Anthony Edwards in Minnesota a little bit calling them out. That's two games against Minnesota with deficits of 22 and 21.
Yeah, I mean,
that's sad. And that contrast I was drawing Friday from when they met in late April, early May of 21 till now. Oh, man, what a contrast.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought, that last time that the Timberwolves were here, and you just mentioned it, a 119-97 loss, I thought that maybe this time, kind of rolling, had won 3 of their last 4, maybe it'd be a little different, and then it just wasn't. And so, hopefully a little bit different tonight against the Mavericks. It looks like the Mavericks are a little banged up, dealing with some injuries, some questionable players for tonight's game, and maybe the Grizzlies can get another home win.
I know they're not supposed to have it anymore, but the Grizzlies could be the maintenance game, especially before Ja returns.
Yeah.
For a lot of teams, kind of regathering or gathering themselves at this point and just trying to get right. Wednesday night at Houston, Friday night at home against Houston.
Yeah,
it's never easy, but it's sure not easy. This stretch. I mean, you go down their schedule and you try to find maybe until you get to San Antonio into the new year of just something that's EASY, easy.
Yeah, there's just not a lot there. And tonight for the Mavericks, Maxi Kleber, Grant Williams, and Kyrie Irving all listed as out. So they'll be down some guys, maybe an opportunity.
Hope they don't have what Jordan Brown has. Is anything listed? Is it
Brett,
physical or is it?
Brett, I haven't seen any reporting done on any of those injured players, but I would guess probably not the same.
Tiger locker room's a long way away from the visitors' locker room too. I said earlier, they practice at the Lori Walton practice facility yesterday.
Well, that's
true.
Maybe sharing
wipe the fountains and the doorknobs down.
Sharing the weight room and the same balls and stuff. You never know what you might catch.
I mean, I can't imagine any of the Maverick players getting up in the area where I sit and maybe me maybe infecting them from Friday night.
No, I don't want that for any of them. So we'll see. We'll see what the Grizzlies can do tonight. A good opportunity for them. But the Mavericks coming in, they've won 3 of their last 5. So they're playing good basketball, and Luka Doncic, what he's been doing lately. I mean,
Luka Doncic.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, and he can do special things when there's a lot of injuries. So it will be fun to watch him tonight, but it will be fun to see what this Grizzlies.
Full day in court for the Grizzlies today with the Ja Morant proceedings.
And Brett, have you seen some of the things that they did in court
today?
I mean, we're showing how
it's right out of court TV, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very interesting on some of the things that happened in court today, and I know a lot of people down there at the courthouse today covering all of what's going on with Ja Morant. But we'll see what the Grizzlies can do tonight at FedEx Forum. But let's go ahead. We need to get to a break. Let's get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk college football. We'll talk college basketball with David Cobb.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know: Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm here with Mark, the owner of Dyer's, out in Collierville's historic town square, where they've been cooking up them burgers since 1912, the old-fashioned way. Mark, what's going on in life? I see you got your 4 kids with you. What do they love about Dyer's?
Man, they love everything about Dyer's. They love all the great food that we serve, and they really like eating our good food and watching some of their favorite sports.
Braden, what do you like at Dyer's?
I like a bacon burger with fries, a milkshake, and with a Tigers game in the background.
Carter, who's your favorite football team?
The Carolina Panthers, and just with some macaroni with that sounds amazing.
My man Beckham, what's your favorite food over at Dyer's?
We like the double cheeseburgers.
Kinley, what is your favorite dish over at Dyer's?
Daddy's cheeseburgers and the Dallas Cowboys game in the background.
Just remember, everybody, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team out and eat at our place.
So head on over to Dyer's in Collierville's historic town square.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's our season of giving back at Gossett Kia on the Pike, and we've got the perfect holiday gift for you. Hit the road with 41 MPG Highway, 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Get road-ready SUV, Seat 7, 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And 8-passenger seating in your new 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease. Plus, you'll get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE 699,094, MSRP 21,385, Sorrento PG 242,710, MSRP 33,010, Telluride RG 462, 2822, MSRP 38,705, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/2/2024, dealer stock only.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A couple of minor wrecks out here in the last few minutes. Already starting to pick up a little bit of volume as we started live on 240 east from Mill Branch, going past Airways all the way out to 385. It's busy around some of the major shopping areas this afternoon. Traffic's on the increase even more on Sam Cooper, especially going outbound, getting back up on the interstate. Hey, don't miss it this year in Enchanted Garden of Lights at Rock City in Chattanooga. It's worth the drive. Check it out online at crockcity.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Joining Brian and Brett now on Sports Time is national college football writer for CBS Sports, Memphis native and Tennessee grad, who you can find on Twitter X at David W. Cobb. It's David Cobb.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us now, talk some college football and college basketball. David Cobb joins us now from CBS Sports. David, thanks so much for joining us. I want to start off with college basketball. It's a big weekend of action in college basketball. The Tigers, a big win over Texas A&M, and Brett brought up an interesting point earlier when we were talking about the Tigers. He said he thinks the Memphis Tigers have a top 15 roster in college basketball. Where would you set the Tigers roster in terms of the rest of the country?
I mean, I think that's accurate. They're experienced, they're versatile, they're deep, and they're talented too. I mean, you can't tell me that what David Jones is doing right now isn't the product of a whole lot of talent. And he was productive at St. John's. He was just the type of player who flew under the radar nationally because St. John's was irrelevant prior to the arrival of Rick Pitino, and a player like David Jones doesn't get noticed in that situation. I think the one who has, exceeded the hype is Javon Quinterly.
Yeah.
He's playing at a really high level right now, and I've watched a number of Memphis games now where it just seems like he's the guy, other than David Jones, who you can really rely on to go and get you a bucket or create a shot when you need one. So that's big. I mean, that shot creation ability of Javon Quinterly and the way he stirs the drink for that whole team has really stood out to me.
But I think we lost you there for a second. Say that again. We're still having trouble with Brett. We'll have to figure that out. But while we work on that, David, what were your biggest takeaways from that game for Memphis against Texas A&M? I mean, on the road against a top 25 opponent after kind of a scary game against VCU. I mean, what did you see from that Tiger team?
Yeah, it was a team going on the road in a hostile environment against an opponent that a lot of people think is going to win the SEC. I picked Texas A&M first in the SEC when we did our preseason predictions, and I know they've been somewhat disappointing early, but they're still a really good team that's going to be there in the NCAA tournament when this season is all said and done. So the fact that Memphis just went in there and kind of smacked them in the mouth, I think defensively it was a big step forward too. Like they've got A&M has some really good offensive players in Tyrese Radford and some of those other veteran guards that have been there for a long time. And Memphis shut them down. Memphis made life hard on them, and that was to me a improvement defensively. Like keeping a guy like Wade Taylor frustrated for an entire afternoon.
They maul those guards, David.
They did, and Memphis is big, and that's where it really helps you. And it's not like they're big because they've got a 7'4" guy out there. It's like position by position. Even when Quinterly is out there as a smaller guy, the other four are long and they're physical and they're athletic. So that's kind of what Texas A&M wants to be against a lot of other teams it plays, and Memphis sort of did it to them and gave them a taste of their own medicine on their own home floor.
David, who do you think has the best roster in college basketball, and how deep is it, and how deep should it be? I mean, because one ball you can play 5 at a time. We all know that. I mean, you don't need to go 9, 10 deep. But who has the best roster in college basketball?
I would probably say Kansas because of that top 3, top 4, Hunter Dickinson, Kevin McCullough, DeJuan Harris, KJ Adams. You won't find a better top 4 than that, I don't think, anywhere in college basketball. Like, I would take those guys in a game of 4-on-4 against whatever 4 any other team in the country can produce, because they're all so distinct, unique, yet versatile. They work together well. And so I think from a overall roster standpoint, Kansas has the edge. But where Memphis has something comparable or even better than Kansas from a roster perspective is the depth that they have. The fact that Memphis has the ability to go 10 or 11 deep, and the experience too, because a team like KU, they rely on some unproven guys. They've got a couple of freshmen in the rotation, a transfer from Towson who they're really hoping can come on. Whereas like Memphis, it's a lot of transfers, but almost exclusively guys who proved it at a comparable level prior to coming to Memphis.
Yeah, at 2 other places in many cases. I mean, I know Wednesday night against VCU, all 5 starters are all 5 new players, and all 5 had been this is the 3rd place they've been. It's a lot of experience. I mean, Caleb Mills was preseason AAC Player of the Year a few years ago, wasn't he, Bryant?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an interesting one, too. Coming off the bench, right, yesterday, but still coming up with some big buckets, right?
Two big daggers.
Sure did.
Indeed. And I don't know what's going on with Jordan Brown or, okay, how about this? Have y'all seen the stuff today that Naquan Tomlin, the Kansas State transfer, may try and enroll mid-year? Like, I don't know if y'all want to get into that, but the point is there's a lot of fluctuating roster dynamics with Memphis right now, and you've heard the back channel social media stuff about maybe some guys being disgruntled with their roles, and who knows what's happening with Jordan Brown. Is he sick, or is he, what's going on? I don't know, but like a guy like Caleb Mills coming off the bench, embracing that role and that assignment, and then flourishing in it is something that Penny can use to prop up team chemistry. He can use that to point to Caleb Mills as an example of, hey, stay ready for when your moment's coming. Anybody on this team can be our leading scorer on a given night. So Penny, I think, still has some ammo to work with when they go on the road and they win games against programs like VCU and Texas A&M. It gives him some ammunition to fight back against when there could be some complicated roster dynamics inside that locker room right now.
Well, we can talk about Naquan Tomlin. It's been some reporting on social media, I guess some rumors on social media that he is on a visit at Memphis right now and from Kansas State, hadn't been with the team all season, been suspended for a bar fight that happened before the season started. What kind of player is he? I've heard a lot of people today kind of having the conversation and really over the weekend of seems like a great player to add to the roster, but do you want to add a player like that mid-season? Could that mess with the team chemistry by adding somebody mid-season like this? What do you make of this whole Naquan Tomlin situation, and would you add him to this roster right now?
I don't know if I would, because it feels like they have a good thing going, but I understand why Penny would want to, because if Naquan Tomlin had entered the transfer portal back in the spring or in the summer, I would have had him ranked in all likelihood among my top 50 in the country. Double-figure scorer from a Kansas State team that made a deep NCAA tournament run last year. So, and he's long, he's versatile. He fits the mold exactly, what Memphis is looking for. And if Jordan Brown if his status is uncertain or a no-go moving forward, then a guy like Naquan Tomlin fits in real well, because you need that height, you need that size that he would bring.
Another very talented roster, I think, is Marquette. Tennessee's got a really talented roster. They were able to defeat Illinois Saturday at Thompson Bowling Arena. Right now, who do you think's at the top of the SEC? I know still very early, but we're getting ready to get some definition as we move into the new calendar year and start conference play.
Well, I'm actually a little concerned about the SEC, to be honest, because Texas A&M has taken 3 losses now. They were my preseason pick to win the league. Missouri's kind of taken a step back in year 2 under Dennis Gates. Kentucky follows up a big win over Miami with a loss at home to a UNC Greensboro. And then, Tennessee's been okay, right? But they've taken their lumps.
Even Arkansas.
Arkansas is off to a rough start. Not that much won't get it together, but they're off to a rough start. And Alabama's been kind of coming back down to earth after last season. So I'm still trying to figure out who's great in the SEC, and I'm curious to figure out if maybe that team is Auburn. I know they lost to Appalachian State, but Bruce Pearl went on the road and played a good Sun Belt team, and it happens, right? Well, they respond to that by crushing Indiana by 28 on a neutral floor. And I look at that performance, and I'm like, that is as impressive as any single game performance that we've seen from anybody in the SEC so far this season. So I think Auburn might kind of be my sneaky pick right now to win the SEC.
It feels like every year for Eric Musselman at Arkansas, he gets right up to the line of maybe losing his team, and then he gets them back, and they respond to him. They respond his way. They almost submit to his way. And last year they go to the Sweet 16. The 2 previous years they go to the Elite Eight. That's just great seasons at a lot of places. A lot of places would really be boastful of that. In Arkansas, they want more than that, and you just wonder if there's ever going to be that year, kind of the old Marine style, you break them and build them back up, that he may just break them and not have anything to rebuild.
Yeah, that's a legitimate concern. In the end, I think he always finds a way. Like in Muss, I trust until I've been given a good reason to believe otherwise. But they're kind of on the rocks right here after a loss to Oklahoma. I don't really know what Arkansas is great at, or like who their star player is. I mean, a lot of the NBA buffs love Trevon Brazile, but he's not a 20-point a game type of guy. And so who is that alpha or that go-to? I don't know. I think they're still working through that, and it's kind of ugly right now.
David, John Rothstein is reporting Memphis, and I should say Jason Muntz has confirmed, Memphis will play a neutral site game against San Francisco at the Chase Center next season prior to participating in the 2024 Maui Invitational. So we know Penny Hardaway set up a great non-conference schedule this year. It looks like he's doing something similar for next season. What type of a game will that be next year at the Chase Center against a team like San Francisco?
Well, it's cool they're playing that in the NBA arena out there. I've been inside that arena. It's very nice. San Francisco is a really good mid-major program. They've managed to stay up even after Todd Golden's departure for Florida a couple of years ago. They're still a solid West Coast Conference team that's going to be there in the top 100 of the net. So if you go and play them, that might count as a road game too. So that's Penny scheduling a game that'll either be quad one
really
or
smart.
quad two when it's all said and done. Yeah, it is. And I was thinking about this earlier. Like if I were asked to grade Memphis' season so far this year, what grade would I give them at, 7-2? I think I would give them an A-. And a lot of that is because of the schedule. And it's like you got to spend money to make money. And in college basketball, you got to take losses to get the big wins, and you got to schedule aggressively. If you're not risky or aggressive with your scheduling, you're going to get burned. And a game like San Francisco in San Francisco, that's being aggressive on the scheduling, and that's setting yourself up for success. So I love that Penny understands that. It's obvious that he does with the schedule they put together this year.
He does. He understands scheduling, and he also understands booster, fundraiser, morale lifting things for your fans, because that'll be so much fun for the fans that are on that official trip. And then, you get a couple of good days in San Francisco in that game, and then to Maui, and it will be back in Maui next year after having to play it this year in Honolulu. Saturday night, David, were you surprised I thought it was a little narrower, Jaden Daniels' victory, than I thought it would be. Were you surprised? It wasn't close. It wasn't Florida 2000 close, but it was closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I think the West Coast quarterbacks kind of split the vote. If one of those guys had maybe been a little bit more dominant, or if one of their teams hadn't made the Pac-12 championship game, then maybe Penix or Nix is right there. But it kind of felt like going into it that Daniels had it locked up. And, yeah, I mean, I pre-wrote Jaden Daniels, and I was like, look, guys, I've got Jaden Daniels in here. If something happens, I'll be ready to shift. But I was pretty confident going into it that the season he had was Heisman worthy. I mean, he was basically as productive as Joe Burrow was entering the ceremony, having played one fewer game since that Joe Burrow team was in the SEC championship. So, yeah, it was a phenomenal season for Jaden Daniels, and I don't think he should be docked for the fact that his team lost a couple more games than the other finalists. He was spectacular this year.
Yeah, no, he absolutely was. David, I know it's still early in the transfer portal, but has anything surprised you yet? Any guys that have entered that you didn't think would enter, or any guys landing at places? I know a lot of people kind of surprised Dylan Gabriel landed at Oregon after it sounded like a lot of people thought he was going to go to Mississippi State with Jeff Lebby. Has there been any surprises for you from the transfer portal?
Yeah, that is a little surprising, I would say. I think just the thing that stands out to me the most is the number of quality quarterbacks who are in the portal. It feels like an uptick even over last year. So, that makes for some exciting stories to follow. The quarterback carousel is almost as interesting as the coaching carousel now. So that's been one that has stuck out to me. And I don't know that it's a good thing or whatever. You can have that debate all you want, whether this is good or bad for college football or whatnot. But it makes things interesting when you've got, 25 former 4-star or better quarterbacks who are on the move. So, you want to see how a guy like Will Rogers does if he goes out to Washington or what have you. Like, those things are interesting, and they do create some excitement around the sport.
And transfer quarterbacks, the last 3 SEC Heisman Trophy winners have all been transfers, and it was Jaden Daniels from Arizona State, but hometown San Bernardino, California. You had Bryce Young. He was not a transfer, but he was from Pasadena, California. And Joe Burrow was a transfer from Athens, Ohio. I'm not real surprised that SEC's winning the Heisman Trophy with quarterbacks, but from Athens, Ohio, Pasadena, and San Bernardino, California.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? It's a quarterback destination, the league is now. I mean, I think this year was a little bit of a step back in quarterback play on the whole because, Devin Leary wasn't spectacular. Like, Joe Milton didn't have the breakthrough that we'd hoped for. But low-key, I mean, Graham Mertz, as a transfer at Florida, he was the shining gem on an otherwise bad team.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is on the verge of maybe winning 11 games with a transfer quarterback. And, I mean, the list goes on. So it's a good time. It's a good time to be an SEC program in need of a quarterback because you can afford to pay them, and you've got a pretty good track record now to point to of guys coming in and having a lot of success.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Talking to David Cobb from CBS Sports. He joins us every Monday to talk college football and college basketball. Bowl games kick off this Saturday, and some interesting ones for sure. Do any of these games stick out to you before we get to kind of some of the higher-end bowl games later in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, Boise State, UCLA, that's 2 West Coast brands of interest. Boise State going through a coaching transition. UCLA fans maybe wishing they were. That should be a good one at a reasonable hour. So I'm excited. For that one. And then the more you get into it, it's like some of these games are not the best. But they're great to have on in the background. It's a great time of year. And
Absolutely.
so, I mean, for me, the intrigue lies with the after Christmas stuff. To me, that's when it gets really interesting, and I'll be tuned in and really locked in. But I'll certainly at least have the pre-Christmas games on.
And this Saturday, I'll take a peek in at Jerry Kill, who's already won 10 games and playing in a bowl game in his home state in the New Mexico Bowl against Fresno State without their head coach.
Yeah, no, Jerry Kill's done an amazing job at New Mexico State. They went and beat Auburn this year, so that's a team that deserves to be celebrated. Those are the teams that are fun to watch in bowl season because they're trying to put the cap on a special year. So the care factor and the buy-in is probably still there, and that the game is meaningful to them. And when that's the case, a game between any 2 teams can be really good or captivating or a good watch. And so in that sense, some of these group of 5 teams that are excited to be in the spotlight, those games end up being some of the better bowls because the care factor and the want-to factor is so high.
And you mentioned Boise State and UCLA. That's the L.A. Bowl at Stan Kroenke Stadium. The L.A. Bowl now hosted by Gronk. It'll be it should be some odds up on whether or not he'll be drunk at the game.
Yeah, I'll take the plus 500.
You'll take the over? Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. That'll be a party. Bowl season's a party. Like these bowls are scrapping for their relevance, and so they're willing to do anything, even pour mayo on top of the winning head coach, in order to be entertaining. So I think that's good.
Well, and David, don't forget about the Pop-Tart Bowl making its debut this year, where the mascot will turn into an edible mascot at the end of the game, and the winning team is supposed to take a bite out of it. So
okay.
So not only the Pop-Tarts Bowl, guys, we also have the famous Toastery Bowl, and those are 2 different bowls.
Oh.
That's not the same bowl, yeah.
And that's the famous Toastery Bowl in Charlotte that used to be in the Bahamas.
I mean, it is. You got to keep your head on a swivel. I'm so grateful that they play the Liberty Bowl at the Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium, where
Well, kind of. I mean,
Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, but that's a little in the weeds.
I know, but I know when it's going to be and where it's going to be and what they're going to call it. I appreciate that.
Who do you think made the best point over all of last week's outrage, David? About what was the point made that really spoke to clarity about FSU being left out?
I mean, the only point there is to make is that Jordan Travis's injury makes them a different team. That's not even like that appealing of an argument to me. I guess, I mean, the other thing too, this is not, I don't know that this is a good reason to leave Florida State out, but it's just a reality. The ACC is just without an identity right now. Clemson being down completely changes what that conference can accomplish, and they're only going to get worse when they add the West Coast rejects. So just what is the ACC is the takeaway and the point that I've heard the most that resonates, because that league has no direction or no trajectory really at all right now.
David, it feels like a year from now, and this coming, 1 year from now, we will be getting ready for games on campus, the 5 hosting the 12, 6 versus 11, the 7 versus the 10, and the 8 hosting the 9 to advance to the more traditional dates around the new year for quarterfinal games. Those 12 teams a year from now, it feels like the makeup's going to be 4 SEC, 4 Big Ten, the group of 5, that's 9, 2 ACC, and a Big 12?
That'd be generous, because if it were this year, I believe it would be 10 of the 12 either being from the SEC or the Big Ten, because you'd have your Florida State in there and you'd have your Liberty in there. But I think there's a real possibility the SEC and the Big Ten adding new members could comprise 10 of the 12 on an almost annual basis.
Well, that's the power too.
Yep. It's going to be a lot of changes in college football starting next year, and we are getting very, very close to them. But, David, thanks so much for joining. We'll do it again next Monday.
All right, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, David.
David Cobb with us every Monday talking college football and college basketball from CBS Sports. If you're ready for a new Silverado All-Star Chevy, they've got the deals for you in Olive Branch with financing down to 1.9 or up to $10,000 in cash, plus make no payments for 90 days. Your good credit deserves it, and you get it at All-Star. First exit off of Highway 78 as you enter into Mississippi. It's Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there at All-Star, and you can see all the red tags, Tahoes, Equinox, Trailblazers. Families just love the Traverse with the third row seat, so you can do more together during the holidays, whether it's heading off to grandma's or for a bowl trip, any holiday trip, what you're going to go and do New Year's Eve. You got to know what you're going to be driving. You need to be driving a great vehicle from All-Star. Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers, you all get an instant extra $500 bonus. If you want a certified pre-owned Chevy or any pre-owned, All-Star's loaded. If it's not at All-Star, just ask Jeff and he'll find it for you. And Jeff and Kevin and everyone at All-Star want to wish everyone a happy holiday season, Merry Christmas, and a happy, healthy, prosperous 2024. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, Bartlett, or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch. Find new roads to All-Star Chevy or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Let's get to a break. When we come back, it's time for our Sissy's Log Cabin look back at the weekend in the SEC.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Get ready for big-time basketball at FedEx Forum this month. The Memphis Tigers host Power 5 opponents, Clemson December 16th for a whiteout, Virginia on the 19th for a blueout, and Vanderbilt on the 23rd for a holiday game. FedEx Forum will be rocking as the Tigers look to continue their great start to the season. Tickets start at just $20 for these big-time basketball matchups. Purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGoTix.com.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Monday night double feature absolutely free on Recorded Message Line. Call 1-800-244-5506. I love both these matchups. Green Bay, New York is a monster, side and total. Green Bay has turned their season around, winning 5 of the last 6 games. The momentum could be crucial in this matchup. While New York's defense has been trending upwards, only allowing 22.4 points per game will prove to be a key factor. Green Bay, New York, plus Tennessee, Miami. 4 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. Free unrecorded message line. 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want information? I've got it. Green Bay, New York, plus Tennessee, Miami. I love to go 5-0 this season free. That's 1-800-244-5506 or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
While interest rates are on the rise everywhere else, at Genesis Diamonds, they have got just the relief you need this holiday season. 5 years, 0 interest on anything and everything. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine. That's right. Genesis is rolling back interest rates to 0.0%. So that $5,000 ring is yours for just $85 a month. Nothing's held back. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, certified natural diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, even luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Just pick any item for that special someone and spread your payments out over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. A $10,000 designer ring comes to just $167 a month. Don't miss this incredible offer. Where else in America can you get financing for 0%? Colored gemstones, designer fashion jewelry, the year's most treasured gifts, all included in this once-a-year offer. This Christmas in Memphis, you have a great alternative so you can get more for your money. That alternative is Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
On approved credit, see store for details.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, serving the official barbecue of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time for a look back at the weekend in the SEC. Brought to you by Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler of the Memphis Grizzlies with 9,000 square foot in Laurelwood. Let's go inside the SEC with Bryant, Brett, and Jay Morgan.
Chad Kelly in the gun formation. 3rd and inches for Ole Miss.
Carlton will kick it. It is on the way, and it is up.
Buck Bellew looking at it, going to pitch it to Herschel Walker, try to get him outside. He's going to get 5.
The snap is high. Kelly grabs it, wants to throw, fires it up in the air. Treadwell can't get it. It is good! Oh, my! Get a deflection is caught! Deflection is caught! And down the sidelines is Adebayo. He's to the end zone. He's in there. Touchdown, Ole Miss.
He's got 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He needs a block. There goes Herschel. There goes Herschel.
And you can wrap this one in maroon and white, my friends.
Arkansas is headed to Atlanta. The national champion is clad in big orange.
And not the national champion, but the Heisman Trophy winner from the SEC in Saturday night, Jaden Daniels. He won in comfortable margin. It was not anywhere close to as big what Joe Burrow won by, even though his numbers were better than Joe Burrow's, but the team numbers were not, and that was a lot of the vote for Joe Burrow on that super team. But he was super player. Brian, I think you remember the Monday after the Ole Miss win over LSU, and I think I even said it on Ole Miss post game, maybe even sitting there with Coach Kiffin. I had left as a part of the Ole Miss crew in 2010 after seeing Cam Newton there in person in what ended up being his Heisman Trophy year. In 2012 after seeing Johnny Manziel in Oxford in what ended up being his Heisman Trophy winning year. I saw Bryce Young on the road in 2021 in what ended up being his Heisman Trophy year, and then I saw him put on a show there in 2022 when he was the difference. Yeah. If he hadn't been there that day, Ole Miss would have beat Alabama.
Right.
But he was there and he made the plays. And I mentioned Joe Burrow in his Heisman Trophy winning campaign at Oxford, and I thought I had seen the same thing in Jaden Daniels. You remember me talking along this line?
Yeah, no, I remember you saying that you saw somebody special, and you saw somebody that could very easily win the Heisman.
I knew I had, and I knew I'd seen somebody very differently, a very different player than the year before. You know, he just went for 17-7 last year and transferred in from Arizona State, similar to Joe Burrow. You know, kind of finding his footing there. And I thought Brian Kelly and his staff did a really good job with him for this year. It also highlights just the number that Herm Edwards did on Arizona State.
Oh man, I saw a lot of people pulling up the video after Jaden Daniels decided to transfer, and a bunch of his teammates at Arizona State were pulling his stuff out of his locker and throwing it in trash bags and taking his nameplate off and talking about how he was a trash quarterback and they didn't need him and yada, yada, yada. And now he's the Heisman Trophy winner. But you're right. I mean, Herm Edwards, you know, if you go back and look, wasn't a bad recruiter. I mean, had a couple of really good players.
Just was allergic to the rules.
Yes, just could not follow simple rules. And so, you know, Jaden Daniels, thanks to him, we got Jaden Daniels in the SEC and got to see kind of up close and personal. Didn't have to worry about having to watch it on Pac-12 Network where none of us could watch. We could see it on ESPN and SEC Network and, you know, week in and week out, just see what an unbelievable player he was.
3,812 yards passing, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Rushing, 1,134 rushing with average rush of 8.4 and 10 touchdowns rushing for him. And after I saw him that night, I thought he was my leader in the clubhouse, but I really wanted to see Penix and Nix duel it out down the stretch of the year. I think they played 2 weeks after I saw him in person. So I kept my mind pretty much open to it, but I knew I'd seen something different in Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, you talk about what he did, not just through the air, but with his legs. I mean, only about, a little less than 60 yards short of 5,000 total yards and 50 touchdowns when you put together his passing and rushing touchdowns. I mean, he was that LSU offense. I understand they have great wide receivers. I mean, Malik Neighbors is one of the best receivers in the SEC, but Jaden Daniels did numbers to that offense. I mean, he was unbelievable, and he was that star player every single week. We would talk about LSU and their wins. We would talk about, 4 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns. I mean, just what he accounted for was incredible.
Through the years, Oxford and at Ole Miss, we've seen a lot of Heisman Trophy winners come through there. I mentioned quarterbacks, but also in 2009, Mark Ingram played and had a big run in that game for Alabama. In that game, Tim Tebow came through in 2007, and others did not. Herschel Walker and Bo Jackson, Ole Miss played them their Heisman Trophy winning years, but it was at Athens and at Auburn, respectively. Played against Billy Cannon, of course, famously, but that was at Baton Rouge. Ole Miss has won over the Heisman Trophy winner 2 times. Beat Derrick Henry in Tuscaloosa in 2015, but this year was the only time to see the eventual Heisman winner and beat him in Oxford. It was this year. Wow. That makes it even better, beating them 55-49.
Yeah, it does.
To beat the Heisman Trophy winner.
I mean, that was a crazy game, Brett. I remember.
Wildest game in my time at Ole Miss. It was the most fun, and the down 9 with 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, and that was the game. I think Memphis was playing Boise State that day.
They were.
And I get in my car, and Ole Miss is up like 21 or 28.
Was that the day your crew wanted to leave early?
Yep, they wanted to leave early. We missed the last touchdown by Boise State that made it a 3-point game. But I'm not holding grudges or anything.
I'm not either, but
I mean, we get in the car and it's like a 21-point game, and by the time the 20-minute drive from Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium to my buddy's house, it was a tied game by the time we got back. I mean, it was incredible.
Basketball.
Yeah, it was incredible. And then going down the stretch of that game was just so much fun to watch. I mean, you're right. That was, I'm sure that ranks up close to the top of the most thrilling games you've ever been at.
I think with the sweet test of time, I think it will really rank way up there. I knew instantly after the game that it saved the Ole Miss season.
Oh yeah,
because you lose that one, it could have been 2 or 3 hiccups in there the rest of the way. In a game that was not at all a defensive game, Daquan Anthony for Ole Miss, with Ole Miss up just 7-0 in a game it ended up scoring 55. That hit he had on him, good clean hit, tough football hit, and coughed the ball up. Ole Miss went down and scored to make it 14-0. That in all those points, one little defensive play mattered.
Yep. We're in, I remember halftime of that game. Offensively, both teams looked great. Defensively, a lot of work to be done. I mean, you got to go to the drawing board after a half like that. So, no, I mean, looking back on it, a great win. Maybe, like you said, a season-changing win.
It was.
For Ole Miss.
It felt it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But Jaden Daniels, Heisman Trophy winner, and LSU, I mean, looking at the last however many years, now 2 Heisman Trophy winners, and Joe Burrow and now Jaden Daniels. So, I mean, maybe LSU becomes the quarterback destination with this success.
They sure could. And Garrett Nussmeier, I think, is the presumptive starter for next year, and he has shown a lot of ability. But the SEC is just a run of winning this. It's just almost hard to believe. And I mentioned with David from Athens, Ohio, and Pasadena, California, and San Bernardino, California. Just the idea of them even going and playing in the SEC. I know we've had players from faraway places. Had Joe Namath from Beaver Falls, PA, but. He didn't win a Heisman, though.
Yeah, no, he did not. But that is interesting, all across the country, and winning them in the SEC is interesting. So.
It is in the best league out there. Again, the SEC was really, really good this year, but it was not vintage. but it's got a team that still can win it, and it's got a Heisman Trophy winner. Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler of the Memphis Grizzlies and of the Memphis Tigers. And Friday night, I went into the Sissy's Log Cabin Club there at FedEx Forum, and it was packed. And that display, it is gorgeous to go in there. And Brian, you've seen it, and you know how nicely it's done. Official jeweler for the Grizzlies and the Tigers, and FedEx Forum with the floor seat lounge. Unsurpassed value, and they offer a selection of diamonds, estate jewelry, and fine gift. And they're the sponsor of our Look Back every Monday at the weekend in the SEC. New location where we'll be on Friday for our remote at Laurelwood at Poplar and Perkins, over 9,000 square foot, and we're going to be there Friday, and we're going to be giving away two tickets, two floor seats, feet on the wood for Wednesday night, January the 2nd against Toronto, I think, the first Wednesday of maybe the first Wednesday of the new year. They're in Laurelwood with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more. Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, that special gift that says I love you at this time of year, and coming up for Valentine's as well. Exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Let's get to a break. When we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals, and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Are you wearing a hat that says meat?
Yep, it's the final piece of my collection.
Your collection of meat hats?
My collection of Central Barbecue merchandise.
Oh, okay, I've noticed you have a few Central Barbecue t-shirts.
A few. I've got a lot of Central Barbecue t-shirts. In fact, I have them all.
How many are there?
Well, let's see. There's 11 of the basic t-shirts.
11?
And like all other cool Central Barbecue merch, they're available at eatcbq.com.
Did you just use the word merch in conversation?
Not just any merch. CBQ merch. Hats, t-shirts, cups, even kids and baby clothes for when the little me comes along. That kid's going to love Central Barbecue because they have such great
merch.
Ribs.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
All 650 acquisition fees, Sportage R723 5498, MSRP 28940, Sorrento PG 424,710, MSRP 33,010, Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38,705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/2/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey, my man Jeff Allen, what's going on for the holidays over at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
It's the season of giving back at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, and I've got your holiday presents right here.
Tell us about it, Jeff.
Award-winning SUV 2024 Kia Sportage LX, $299 a month. $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia Sorrento LX, perfect for your road trips, $329 a month. And the 2024 Kia Telluride LX, we got it at $459 a month. All 36-month lease.
Well, you can't get much better than that, Jeff. And all Kias come with the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah. And from all of us at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah, happy holidays.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo Lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand.
It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, I have a lot of big numbers today, a lot of big numbers.
I got a lot of numbers.
Oh, man, it was a good weekend for numbers. My first number that I will go to comes from the Dallas Cowboys last night, and my big number is 30. Johnny,
I wish you would say our Cowboys. I really do.
I'm sorry.
I feel excluded Cowboys when you don't.
Our Cowboys, but I'm so sorry. That was not intentional. My first big number is 30. The Cowboys became the first team in NFL history, Johnny, in NFL history to score 30 or more points in each of their first 7 home games in a season. That's right. Our Dallas Cowboys did that.
Yeah, that's a great number.
Thank you, John.
And when I think of Cowboys wearing uniform number 30, I think of Dan Reeves.
Oh, great one to think of.
Hey, good job, Brett.
The old South Carolina quarterback. They made him a running back.
I mean,
that's a good one, Brett.
That's great. I love that. So, yeah, good start to the season for the Cowboys. It really is.
Yeah, solid number, though, Brian.
Thank you.
I'm very happy for you, man, with your number, man.
Thank
you did a good job.
Do you want another number?
We do.
Because I've got another number.
The crowd's clamoring for another.
Yes.
Thank you. My next number is 20. So 10 less than my first big number.
Well, that's Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
It sure is, but this one is not. It is in reference to a Tiger, but it is not Tony Pollard. Today, David Jones was named the AAC Player of the Week. David Jones is the only player in Division I currently averaging at least 20 points per game, at least 6.5 rebounds per game, and at least 2 steals per game. Johnny, the last person to do that in a season was who?
I don't know. Penny Hardaway?
Former number 1 pick, Zion Williamson.
Are you serious, bro?
I'm serious. That is courtesy of Jason Munns, who we'll talk to on Friday.
Hey, man. Brian, you're on fire with these numbers today. You're on fire with these numbers, Brian.
That's all I got.
I hope I have a chance, Johnny. I do. I really do.
I actually have another big number, but I'll stop and let Brett go. Let Brett go before I get on my next big number. I just saw
you need to come off the top rope. Come on.
Fine, Brett. I'll go with it. My next big number is 40. So
40?
we went from 30 down to 20, now back up to 40, Johnny.
What you got for me, Brian?
Michigan State. Oh, those pesky Spartans. They're off to a 4-5 start to the season. It is tied for the worst start by a preseason AP top 5 team over the last 40 years per ESPN stats and info. The 2003, 2004 Michigan State and 1986-87 Louisville team both started 4-5. The last team with a worse
Louisville was
record,
defending champs that year.
Really? Wow. The last team with a worse record through 9 games was Louisville in 1980-81 when they started 2-7. So a rough start to the season for old Tom Izzo.
Brian, you're on fire.
Louisville was defending champs in 80-81 as well.
You're kidding. Wow. So Louisville, don't win another national championship or you'll be terrible the next year.
My big number of the day is number 5. That's the uniform number for LSU's Jaden Daniels. He's the third LSU player to win the Heisman Trophy, joining number 9, Joe Burrow, and number 20, Billy Cannon. But more importantly, he is the fourth different number 5 to win the Heisman Trophy. Paul Hornung, wearing number 5, won it in 1956.
Okay.
Reggie Bush won it in 2005. And Jameis Winston, wearing number 5, won it in 2013.
I like that. That's a good big number, Brett.
I love it, Brett. I love it, Brett. I love it.
Oh, wow. 3.
I love it.
4. I love it.
Hey, man. That's an amazing stat, man. Amazing. I love it. I'm sorry, Brian.
5.
Hey, he did that, man. He did.
There we go.
Wow, he
did it. I'm sorry, man. He did that.
Big number being 5. How about that?
Number 5 came through for me.
That's right. It sure did. You needed it. I thought he was going to stop at 4. But
Well, under the file of you can always learn something. Paul Hornung wins it in 1956, famous for a Notre Dame team that went 2-8, famous for beating Johnny Majors at Tennessee 1 of 4 times. Tennessee's been the real tough luck runner-up. Didn't know this until last week. Paul Hornung played basketball as well at Notre Dame his first 2 years there.
Wow.
On the freshman team his freshman year, and then on the varsity his sophomore year, and averaged 6 points before saying, I think I'm going all football.
Dual sport athlete. How about that? I like it. Old Paul.
Somewhere last week I found the Charlie Ward, the most famous Heisman Trophy winning basketball player.
Right.
Terry Baker at Oregon State won it in 62 and is also the only player to play in a Final Four in the same year that he won the Heisman Trophy. Won the Heisman Trophy fall of 62, spring of 63. The Beavs go to the Final Four.
Wow. I like it.
And Terry Baker, famous for the longest rush in Liberty Bowl history, rushing 99 yards for a touchdown.
Interesting.
That'll never be broken.
No. That will never be broken. Interesting, but no, that was fun watching Jaden Daniels win it, and also Michael Penix. I saw a lot of people showing off his outfit for
it was great.
The Heisman with all of his teammates and coaches' names.
Who's your favorite old guy there?
That's a good question.
Billy Sims rather sedate Saturday. They had to goad him into a boomer.
Yeah, I don't know. I love watching the whole setup for the Heisman Trophy, where they have all the former Heisman Trophies winners that they can get there, and they all line them up in order of when they won.
Who's there.
Yeah, of who's
there,
who
there,
can
there
get
were some notable absences. It was the 50th year of John Cappelletti winning, but he was not there.
Right.
And I was surprised that Caleb Williams wasn't there. I'm not criticizing it. I was just surprised that he was not.
Yeah, interesting. I wasn't shocked by it. Maybe a little surprised, but I wasn't shocked. But hopefully, maybe next year he'll be back. Next year he'll be playing the NFL.
And they did honor Johnny Lujak, who had passed this year at 98, and it now makes the oldest living Heisman Trophy winner. And this really makes me feel old because everybody my age loved him. Speaking of the Cowboys, Roger Staubach.
Oh yeah, old Roger Staubach. No, but the Heisman Trophy. I mean, it's something I try every year to at least catch some of it. Maybe not the whole thing if I'm busy like I was this past Saturday, but I try to catch a little bit of it and try to get a little glimpse of all of.
I had to pull
Heisman
myself
Trophy
away
winners.
from the in-season tournament to watch some of the Heisman.
Well, did you go back at least?
Of course, I went back for the champagne celebration.
That's all that matters. As long as you saw the confetti fall and the trophy raised, I mean, that's really all that matters.
The street celebration in both in L.A. I like the split screen of showing the party in Vegas and in L.A.
Bro, I still haven't heard when we're getting the parade for the in-season tournament.
Got to be soon.
It's got to be, but I'm sure got to work things out and make sure that they can find a day that works for everybody.
Where do you think LeBron places the MVP trophy of the in-season tournament? In that vast array of all of his collectibles, all the mementos, gold medals, MVPs, NBA championships. Where does he put it?
Brett, how insulting. I mean, it's an in-season
is it the top?
MVP.
He's got a spotlight on it in his trophy room?
At the very front. I mean, forget the MVPs he's won. Forget the finals MVPs he's won. It's an in-season tournament MVP.
He ought to get with Graceland and build to scale a replica jungle room with the spotlight on the in-season trophy MVP.
Brett, I love it. I mean, that's a great idea. I'm all for it. But let's go ahead. We need to get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk Tiger football with Jonah Dillon.
Want to do something you can't do anywhere else? Join me in Sports 56 at Top Gun Memphis Thursday 11 to 1 and shoot for free when you mention Sports 56. While you're there, buy the ultimate Christmas gift, the fully automatic machine gun package for only $89. That includes 3 different machine guns, ammo, range safety officer, and the shooting lane, man. All for just $89. See you Thursday at Top Gun Memphis, Witten Road, with machine gun package and Liberty Bowl ticket giveaways, TopGunMemphis.com. Try it, shoot it, buy it. Yo, Mark, long time no see. You still down at Dyer's?
Man, I'm not down at Dyer's. I'm out at Collierville Historic Town Square.
When'd you move out there?
We've been out there for about 13 years. We've got the shops, the park. We got the train the kids like to play on.
You still cooking those burgers the old-fashioned way?
Man, we're still flattening out those hamburger balls on a slab of marble and skillet frying them the old-fashioned way like they've been doing for 100 years.
Dude, you still have those onion rings.
Man, they're fantastic. Hand-breaded, served up just right.
I loved those milkshakes. Please tell me you're still doing those.
Man, we are hand dipping those shakes, putting them in the old glass in the shake tin, served the old-fashioned way.
You got any new items out there I need to know about?
We're just doing a lot of gourmet sandwiches. We've got farm-raised catfish straight out of the Delta. We've got some hot tamales from Pasquale's Tamales out of Helena, Arkansas.
Man, are they served in the husk?
What those guys like to say, they're so good, you'll suck the shuck.
Go see my buddy Mark at Dyer's Cafe in Collierville's historic town square.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
You gotta check out Genesis Diamonds for the holidays. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine. This year, when it comes to jewelry for Christmas, you have a refreshing alternative. Genesis Diamonds gives you so much more in quality, in selection, and in value. And right now, you can buy anything at Genesis and get 5 years, 0 interest financing. So you can get that $3,000 diamond pendant and pay just $50 a month, or that $6,000 eternity band for just $100 a month. Everything's included in this amazing holiday offer. All GIA certified natural diamonds and all lab-grown diamonds, even all our luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Imagine that $15,000 Rolex for just $250 a month. You can even finance the sales tax. Don't let talk of rising prices and high interest rates dampen your holiday spirit. At Genesis Diamonds, they are lowering prices and taking interest rates down to 0. Get that headliner gift they deserve and make your money go farther than ever. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Approved credit. See store for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show. Right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Heavy traffic developing coming out of Midtown, especially on 240 southbound as you come past Lamar. On the increase over here on this side of town on 240 on to 385. 240 east also started to slow there around Mill Branch. It still looks pretty good south of town as you continue down 55 into DeSoto County. Hey, don't miss it this year. Enchanted Garden of Lights at Rock City in Chattanooga. It's worth the drive. Check it out at crockcity.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn, Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us now to talk some Tiger football from the Commercial Appeal. He's the Tiger football beat writer. Jonah Dillon joins us now. It's even though the Tigers haven't played a game in a couple weeks, still been very busy for Jonas. He's been helping out at the Commercial Appeal, cover a lot of other things. And Jonah, I want to start off with last week, the meetings we had about the stadium, about the money that the city is getting from the state for stadium renovations. And it was in that meeting that you were at where some people in the city council started bringing up the notion of maybe the Grizzlies leaving Memphis if they didn't get money, and also city councilmen getting mad and upset because of the line in there from FedEx in their gift to the University of Memphis of that stadium has to be in the name of the University of Memphis. What did you make of everything that happened at that meeting a week ago?
Yeah, it was a wild day at city council, and it started with a discussion about a resolution that ended up not even being the key issue. It was about adding board seats to the foundation that's going to potentially be running and owning Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, and ended with what turned into just a wide-ranging discussion about the whole stadium deal. And then by the end, when it seemed like, okay, they've talked about this deal, they have problems with it, and they're going to kind of go back to the drawing board, then we got into the theme of, yeah, by the way, there's another part of this stadium deal, which is that the Grizzlies need a certain amount of money. They're saying around $550 million to renovate FedEx Forum. And City Councilman Chase Carlisle basically said, we have 3 years to come up with that money, or they could be exploring other options. And then that added a whole other dimension to what had already been a very long day with lots of things to go through. And it's a huge story. I mean, it's been going on for a while, but there's a lot to unpack there.
A huge story, and Jonah, we visited Friday night at the Grizzlies game, and I don't know how I thought of. I guess nothing is simple. A simple transfer turns into we're on Grizzlies leaving alert. Do you think everything, all the fractured feelings, all the frayed nerves, gets fixed by I think the next date is December 19th?
Yeah, I would expect I think when you go through and you look at kind of what the issues were, a lot of the problems that city councilmen and women had was they didn't like the way that the deal was kind of announced. A lot of them saying they didn't know about it until it was brought before them last month, and then obviously all that kind of unfolded really quickly. And so I think what's going to happen and what is happening now is there are discussions going on behind the scenes about how to kind of deal with some of these concerns that they have. A lot of these things, even going back to the board seats, those are the kind of things that maybe let's have a conversation about how we're going to work together in the future. It doesn't feel like something that's going to hold up the whole deal. There obviously were suggestions from officials from the university that if they don't agree to transfer the stadium to the school, that the whole deal could fall apart. But again, at this point, it looks like a delay. It doesn't look like something that's going to cause the whole deal to fall apart. But obviously that meeting a week from tomorrow is going to be a key moment now, especially when you look at the timeline that the university has given. They said they wanted this all done before the Liberty Bowl. That's been the plan all along. It's been getting closer and closer. And this is obviously the last chance, if you want to get it at least through city council approval before then, to actually meet that deadline.
What was this just the perfect collision of ego and maybe a little protocol, or is there really any real there, Jonah?
Well, it's a really complicated deal. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. We're talking about now transferring ownership of a stadium, and arguments about what exactly the stadium's worth is, which is a tough one, because if you look at what they're saying, the city's losing money on the stadium because they have to pay for upkeep and things like that. And a lot of people have referred to it as a liability. Some city council members
it's worth nothing
disagree.
empty. It's worth something about 10 times a year.
Right, and also the worth of the stadium comes down to who plays in it. If the Tigers said we're not going to play there anymore, then it would be a lot less valuable. So it's very difficult to figure out what is the dollar amount, and that's something that city council members ask. What is the dollar amount on the value of the stadium? Like, nobody can really answer that, and understandably so. So there's a lot to unpack there, and then that's before, like I said before, we even get into the Grizzlies stuff, and that's the whole other dimension. And some people have been saying all along, and this was said again at the city council meeting last week, is why are we moving forward with this deal with the university if the Grizzlies are the ones who can leave, right? The University of Memphis is not going to leave Memphis. And that's been in the background the whole time, but part of it was, let's just get this deal done with the stadium and then move on to the Grizzlies. And so there's just a lot going on there. I think it makes sense that this is a complicated deal and it's going to take some time, but I think that there's optimism that it'll be resolved by the meeting next week.
What would a delay mean for the University of Memphis and for these stadium deals?
Yeah, for the university, I mean, they're on a timeline where they're already in a situation, if this all goes to plan, where the stadium is going to be like in the middle of renovations during next season, which is fine. Like, and it is, just to warn people, it's going to be a Vanderbilt situation as we know it in college football, where the stadium looks like an active construction zone. But and they've said this before, as things continue to get dragged out, costs go up and there's more uncertainty, especially when you're talking about trying to, not just the $50 million from Fred Smith and his family, but trying to get other donations. They've said they need to raise $50 million more dollars, which is not an easy thing to do. And when you can't guarantee people certainty about when renovations are going to start, it's a lot harder to do that. And so that's another part of it. And yeah, it just continues to get dragged out. Obviously, this was said again at City Council, is that they need to do this stadium renovation so they can get into a better conference, which is really interesting to me, because obviously you can't give assurances of what that looks like or when you're going to do that, because no one really has control after, of how these conference realignment things play out. But the longer that drags out is obviously going to prevent you from making those moves. So there's a lot that they want to get done to be able to just kind of move forward with this.
Jonah, again, at Friday night, I said to you, boy, you saw the real sausage being made, and you told me that was your background before you've done sports, but before coming here and working for Commercial Appeal, you had a history of being a City Hall reporter.
I did indeed, in Hartford, Connecticut. And it's an interesting job. You have to, you sit there at these meetings and there's a lot of people arguing about stuff, and a lot of times the actual decisions are not being made they're in front of everyone in the meeting, which makes sense. But it was a little bit of deja vu for me at that meeting on Tuesday. I obviously didn't expect to be sitting through city council committee meetings, but there I was on Tuesday, and it was eerily similar to some of the things that I've covered in the past.
And you'll be back December 19th, I assume.
I will.
I love it.
Oh, boy, I tell you, I bet you have to pack the patience for that, because it's a lot of minutia with land rights and water rights and things like that, and now stadium rights.
Yeah, well, what's interesting about the meeting last week is, it seemed like going in, and obviously I haven't been, I've been following this story, but I haven't been on it, day to day, is that there were thoughts that, we're going to go into this meeting, they're going to have a little bit of a discussion, they're going to work some things out, and then they're going to approve it, and that's going to be it. Like, last Tuesday was going to be the last day of this. And it became very clear very early in the meeting that wasn't going to happen, because it wasn't just one person who had issues with this. It was most of the city council who were voicing their concerns. And then it just kind of spiraled and spiraled, like I said, until we got to that thing about the Grizzlies. And then it was like, wow, remember where we started this morning? We're talking about a board seat and about transferring the property. And now we're talking about really like the future of sports in the whole city of Memphis. Like it was that big of a story, and it is that big of a story. And so, yeah, obviously we'll be following it, and hopefully it'll be not as bad next Tuesday. But obviously you never know.
Yeah. Talking to Jonah Dillon from the Commercial Appeal. And Jonah, you were not in court today, but you have been helping out at the Commercial Appeal with what's going on in court today with Ja Morant. A lot of that has taken place since we've gotten on the air, me and Brett. What has been your biggest takeaway? What has jumped out to you from court today with Ja Morant on the stand?
Yeah, well, it's just crazy to look at some of this stuff and how mundane it all is, right? Like we're talking about what is a check ball?
I saw that video. That was interesting.
Yeah, and like I tweeted earlier today, like I'm never going to be able to play pickup basketball again, and not just think about this all the time, right? So, this is a very obviously this is a civil situation. It's not a there was a criminal investigation, but that's not what we're talking about here. That's already been dealt with, and. Yeah, I mean, this has been this case and this story has been going on for a long time, and this is the first time that Ja Morant has actually spoken about it comprehensively in a public setting. But once you get down to the nitty gritty, it is just going back and forth about things like that. What did you think was going to happen? What else could you have done instead of punching him? It doesn't appear that there were any serious injuries. And again, this is a civil case; it's about money. Ja was done talking today, so he's moved on. But this is going to continue tomorrow and Wednesday. T. Morant is going to have to finish his testimony, and then Devontae Pack is also going to testify, as well as Joshua Holloway, who's the plaintiff. So there's going to be more to come, but I would expect we're basically going to, we're going to hear the same version of this story from everybody else, and it's going to be the same thing. I would expect maybe there's going to be more basketballs brought into court, more demonstrations of check balls and throwing the ball at someone's feet. And it's going to continue to go from there. So yeah, there's a lot going on in Memphis right now, like we've talked about.
Yeah, a lot going on. But Jonah, let's get to Tiger football. A lot going on, even though it's been a couple weeks since they've played a game. But transfer portal, a lot happening, and most recently, Mychylan Pounders entered the transfer portal. I know he was tweeting about Auburn this weekend. I don't know if he was at a visit down there or not. But what did you make of the news? Mychylan Pounders, who really all year I've heard from people that was the one they were most worried about jumping into the transfer portal. He finally made it official last week that he was going to look at some other destinations.
Yeah, and right as he jumps in the portal, he's already announcing multiple Power 5 offers, right? So it makes sense, and you can see why. He had a pretty good season, and he was a pretty highly touted recruit when he came here. Obviously, he initially had been planning to go to Ole Miss, and that's somewhere that he could end up now. It's definitely a hit for Memphis. You look at the offensive line, and they've got a lot of work to do for the transfer portal for next season, but there's also a lot of question marks about what the offensive line is going to look like in the bowl game, because you've lost two starters, and then you've also lost Terrence McClain, who would have been the next guy to slot in. Yeah. So you've almost lost three guys. And it's not ideal. It's not ideal for the bowl game. And I think moving forward, we'll talk about it more. There's a lot of exciting things on the offense with skill positions, but obviously the offensive line, I think, played pretty well this season. Like, we didn't have to talk about it a lot, and they were pretty consistent, and so that's going to be something that's going to need to be rebuilt going to next season. The other key on the offensive line is Jacob Likes, the center, could come back for another year, and that's somebody that Seth Hennigan and the other offensive players and the other leaders of the team are trying to convince him, because that would be a really big key for Memphis if he decided to come back for one more year.
And, Jonah, we know at every place around college football, okay, you're going to have things going out, and you got to replace it by what's coming in. How do you feel about the potential of the incoming from talking to coaches and the analysts and the recruiting people? Do you think they can replace the outgoing with what's incoming?
I think they can. I think, it's going to be tough because some of these guys on the offensive line, these weren't guys that came in as transfers last year. They were guys that were in the program for a couple of years, and they developed them, which is obviously something that we're seeing less and less and less in college football. I think that they're confident. They're confident they can build off of the 9-3 season with the coaching staff, largely coming back, at least with Ryan Silverfield and offensive coordinator Tim Cramsey, and they can build off of, here's other transfers that have come in. They've done a really good job. Like, I think it's really interesting to see what's going on at running back, where you had Sean Dawkins, the running back coach, basically put out on social media, look at what Blake Watson did this year. If you're in the portal and you're a running back, you should come here, because this guy, he came in from what you would say is probably a lower level, had a really good season, first team All AAC, and now he's ready to go to the NFL. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how much that actually plays out. There's to watch even today, Mario Anderson, who was South Carolina's leading rusher this year, as a top 3 of Oklahoma, USC, and Memphis. And if you're Memphis and you're a top 3 with USC and Oklahoma, you're doing something right. And so obviously running back is a specific one. Obviously we'll have to see where he ends up going, but that's a really good sign. Just that you're in the top 3 with those 2 schools for a guy of that caliber. And so I think there's a lot of optimism, and obviously pending who else decides to go into portal, because we know that that's not done yet. But I think, there's a lot of reasons to be excited about what next season is going to look like.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that too, and it shocked me earlier today that the Tigers were in a conversation, not only for a running back like that, but with some of the other names in his top, 3 or 4. What'd you make of the decision, Matt Barnes leaving to go Mississippi State, be the safeties coach at Mississippi State, and now the Tigers need to look for a new defensive coordinator? What'd you think of his move, and who are some names or type of coaches you think the Tigers should go after for defensive coordinator?
Yeah, so his contract was up. It was going to be up, and we don't know exactly what was going to happen, but it's interesting when you look at the trajectory of the season, because the first couple of games we were talking about, wow, this defense is carrying the whole team. They don't even need to score, because there was a point where the offense had allowed more points than the defense because of turnovers, like a couple of pick sixes.
Yeah.
And then throughout the season, it kind of shifted, and now we're talking about this offense as being kind of a juggernaut, and Coach Cramsey is the one who people are excited about, and that he's going to be the one staying. Whereas if you asked them at the beginning of the season, they probably would have said the opposite.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show you how quickly things change in college football and with the fan base. I think it's going to be interesting to see how he does in Mississippi State, but it's I think a lot of fans were, by the end of the season, were asking for a change. It's a tough job, and like he talked about throughout the season, there are a lot of difficult offenses in this conference. Like, you're winning these games in shootouts, and it's not like other teams in the conference are just shutting these teams down. So it's always that kind of a game. I think, first the question is who's going to be the defensive coordinator in the bowl game, because now the things are starting to stack up here. We're talking about you need a new defensive play caller. You need a new, basically, half of your offensive line. And it's a lot to deal with when you're going to go play against a Power 5 team in Iowa State. So there's a lot on the list, but I think first of all, you'll see, maybe an announcement or just some information on what it's going to look like in the next couple of weeks. And then probably after the bowl game, we'll see more about what the future looks like.
Jonah, I promise next Monday we're going to talk Iowa State a lot more in the Liberty Bowl, the 65th Liberty Bowl. We'll talk it next week, because that'll be the last time we visit with you until game day.
Yeah,
because the following Monday is Christmas.
It's really coming up quickly. There's, like I said, it hasn't been as much of a break as I expected it was going to be after that Temple game.
Break, man. There's no break.
I know that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a lot going on, and again, like, it's crazy to think that there's still a game to be played, right? Like, there's all these questions that we have that we don't have answers to, and it's going to be really important before the Liberty Bowl, because you've got to get this figured out if you want to get that 10-win season and then take that momentum into next year. So it is going to be a critical time.
And Jonah, I'm not trying to overdo it, but I think the same applies at Ole Miss. I think the bowl game, they matter, and if the Tigers win, just like if Ole Miss wins, I think it will help in that last AP poll of the year, and that helps where you start next year. If Memphis could start next year at, say, 24, 25, 26, 27, that first Ralph Russo poll he puts out in mid-August, it's just simple math. If you start up there, you can start that attrition and moving up a little earlier, because it's going to matter in the eyes of the selection committee.
Yep, and like we've talked about, Memphis is going to have pretty high expectations going into next season.
Real high.
Regardless of how this shakes out. I don't know if you saw it, John Summerall, the new Tulane coach, said today that they're going to go to the playoffs and win the national championship and sell out every game.
John believes that too, Jonah. I promise he does.
Yeah, no, it's like, I'm wondering what their reaction around here would be if Ryan Silverfield said that. But Tulane, again, we've talked about it many times. People are excited about Summerall as a hire, and Tulane in the past couple of years has been the class of the conference. And they're going to be up there, and Memphis is going to be up there. So that's one of the teams that you're competing with. But the reality is, going to next season, and I'm sure we'll be having this conversation a lot more times, you make the playoffs, you're in. You've got a chance to go prove it, and that spot is there for somebody in these conferences. So the expectations can and should be much higher, and you've got to build your team with that in mind. So I think that's something that this coaching staff has in the back of their mind as they go into next season, knowing that the expectations are going to be raised.
Yeah, they 100% are, and great hire by Tulane. John Summerall is going to go in, and they are not going to miss a beat from what they have done these past couple of seasons. But Jonah, thanks so much for joining us. Like Brett said, next Monday we're going to dive into this bowl game, talk about Iowa State and what Memphis can expect. But enjoy your week, and we'll do it again Monday.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Jonah.
Thank you, Jonah. Be safe. Jonah Dillon with us from the Commercial Appeal on all things Tigers football, but so much more around town as he helps out at the paper really on everything, and such a talented, bright guy. And having City Hall duty, and his background, you never know when you have to reach back down for more of the sausage making, and we'll see what happens at that December 19th meeting. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Hewlett Dunn Boot and Jean on the historic square in Collierville since 1961, where it is decorated so nicely for this time of year. It looks and feels just perfect out there. Charles Hall and Laura, what a team they are. Charles started working at Hewlett Dunn in his teens, and now with his teammate, his wife Laura, they own the place, known for all the boots and the clothing, the accessories, and cap for any team, for any season. So many great gifts out there right now for the gift buyers, and you want the perfect one for the holiday, and they have it. Western wear, work boots, safety toe, soft toe, rubber boots for every occasion at Hewlett Dunn. But from head to toe, they've got you covered with every brand like Filson, Ariat, Dan Post, Anderson Bean, whether for men or for women, men's and women's clothing, jeans, pants, shirts, jackets, shorts, outerwear, and the best duckhead collection you'll find anywhere. Charles and Laura Hall, they invite you out to 111 North Center Street, probably some eggnog or some cider brewing. Come by and say hello or go to HewlettDunn.com, but visit them on the square in Collierville, where it really looks like a movie set. It's so perfectly adorned. Hats, sunglasses, boot care products, and every area team snapback cool hat you can think of. For the bowl game, for the Tigers, for Mississippi State, for Tennessee, for Ole Miss, for the Razorbacks, and for the travel season, the travel bag selection, top notch. HewlettDunn.com, but please visit, stop by, say hello at 111 North Center Street on the square in Collierville at Hewlett and Dunn.
Well, let's go ahead and get to a break because when we come back, not one but two Monday Night Football games tonight. We got to get to our Ruth's Chris Monday Night Football pick and preview also our top 4 quarterbacks. Between all 4 teams, a combined list, any player from those 4 teams, I should say any quarterback from those 4 teams playing tonight. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
The season has changed. You know how I know? It's finally here, the Family Leisure Christmas Sale. Excellent deals on pool tables, shuffleboards, and saunas. Oh, we're just beginning. Tired and sore from shopping? Check out the huge selection in stock of hot tubs and massage chairs. Oh, and you can surprise the kids with the best stuff, like a new arcade, a game table, even a play gym. Gifts for the whole family to enjoy and enjoy together. Also on sale, theater seating, outdoor kitchens and grills, patio furniture, and fire pits. Merry Christmas from our family to yours. That's Family Leisure of Memphis. Every year we wait. They always deliver. They've done it again. The Family Leisure Christmas Sale is happening at I-40 and Whitten Road. That's 2120 Whitten Road to be exact. That's the place of shopping heaven. Family Leisure, where family and fun all come together.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Monday night double feature absolutely free on recorded message line. Call 1-800-244-5506. I love both these matchups. Green Bay, New York is a monster, side and total. Green Bay has turned their season around, winning 5 of the last 6 games. The momentum could be crucial in this matchup, while New York's defense has been trending upwards, only allowing 22.4 points per game will prove to be a key factor. Green Bay, New York, plus Tennessee, Miami. 4 big plays, John Anthony has you covered. Free on recorded message line, 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want information? I've got it. Green Bay, New York, plus Tennessee, Miami. I love to go 5-0 this season free. That's 1-800-244-5506 or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
It's our season of giving back at Gossett Kia on the Pike, and we've got the perfect holiday gift for you. Hit the road with 41 MPG Highway 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Get road-ready SUV Seat 7 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And 8-passenger seating in your new 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease. Plus, you'll get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE 699,094, MSRP 21,385, Sorrento PG 242,710, MSRP 33,010, Telluride RG 462, 2822, MSRP 38,705, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/2/2024, dealer stock only.
Get ready for big-time basketball at FedEx Forum this month. The Memphis Tigers host Power 5 opponents, Clemson December 16th for a whiteout, Virginia on the 19th for a blueout, and Vanderbilt on the 23rd for a holiday game. FedEx Forum will be rocking as the Tigers look to continue their great start to the season. Tickets start at just $20 for these big-time basketball matchups. Purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGoTix.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. I'm looking at this crash over here. They moved it over to the side as far as they can get it on 385 Bill Morris Parkway, right at Ridgeway. Again, that's going westbound. The heaviest flow of traffic, of course, is going outbound. They are eastbound on Bill Morris as you pass Ridgeway, continuing all the way out into Collierville, starting to load up pretty good with a lot of volume over here on 40 eastbound from Sycamore View Road all the way out to Germantown Parkway. Don't miss it this holiday season. Enchanted Garden of Lights at Rock City in Chattanooga. It's worth the drive. Check it out online at CRockCity.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Cell. Welcome aboard. ABC's Monday Night Football.
Not one, but 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. How much fun will that be? I wish they had staggered them a little bit, though. But we'll make do. Which game are we carrying tonight? Help me, Brian.
We are carrying Titans at Dolphins tonight. That coverage starts at 7 o'clock after Rebel Yell.
And some heavy hearts in the Titans world with the passing yesterday morning at 52 years old of Frank Wycheck. Brian, you know, I talk so fondly about that year the Tennessee Oilers played here. I think I was the only one that enjoyed that year.
I think so.
Here. I did. It was really my first real, to see regular season NFL games regularly was that year. Just spotty game here or there. Frank Wycheck was so nice to us with his time. Now he's gone. Steve McNair's gone. But they were great to us. Eddie George was great to us. Blaine Bishop was great to us. That was a fun year. And then every time I would go back up to Nashville to a game when he was the longtime analyst with Mike Keith on Titans games, he was so much fun to be around. I don't know what the cause of death was. They said it was a fall. I'm afraid the years have not been good for Frank Wycheck from injuries.
No, it hasn't. It was kind of shocked me yesterday to see the news and how young he was, and but I think John was telling me earlier. I think he wanted and his family are donating his brain and everything to CTE research.
I think they should,
and all of that. So definitely, I'm sure not the best of years is what I was reading the past couple, but so sad to hear that yesterday.
And I'm sure tonight on the Titans broadcast, we won't have that. We'll have Westwood, but I'm sure Mike Keith will speak very candidly and fondly of his buddy, Frank Wycheck, who engineered the biggest play in Titans history, the Music City Miracle. And for me, all the memories come rushing back. I'm at Ole Miss that day.
Oh, wow.
Covering an Ole Miss Florida basketball game. Mike Miller, a freshman at Florida that day.
That's great.
And he had a big day. And it was at the Tad Pad, and I'm in the bowels of the Tad Pad, and man, it was some bowels to the Tad Pad.
Awesome.
And down there, and I'm on hold with my producer at ESPN Radio. No. I'm in the middle of giving kind of the update from Ole Miss Florida and who had the most points, things like that. When you string like that, and through my ear that wouldn't go out on the radio in very colorful terms. To heck with the Florida Ole Miss game. Get out. We've had a wild play in Nashville, and it was the Music City Miracle.
Wow, that's awesome.
And the producer was saying, screw Ole Miss, Florida basketball, get out now. And the language was colorful. I said, well, I'll do it from here in Oxford.
Yeah,
and they went to that play, and very sad. Titans do play tonight. They are against Miami. You can pick either game tonight, Brian. And Brian,
it was
over the weekend.
I pulled a U, Brett. I haven't done that yet this year.
You pulled the vast one. Saturday you lost the Navy game. Yep. What a wild game that was.
Wow.
I hit Army. Then on Sunday, I only went 2-4 on Sunday.
But much better than what I did on Sunday.
The bagel. 0-6. 0-7 for the weekend. We are now tied 4 points to 4 points.
I just need one win, Brett. I just need one.
And you need it tonight. You can take either game, either side. The floor is yours.
Well, Brett, I'm circling it multiple times to avoid an 0-8 weekend. I've decided I'm taking Miami Dolphins minus the 13.5.
Miami minus 13.5 over the Titans. I'm going to go the other game. I'm going to take Green Bay. Remember last week they were my 6-6 team that I love. I think after the end of the weekend we can have 11 or 12 teams, one game over 500 or 500 or one under. That's a third of the league.
That's crazy.
And that was Pete Rozell's dream and Tagliabue's dream and Goodell's dream
and here we
for
are.
Everybody to be in the mix with these few games left. So give me Green Bay and I'm going to lay the 6.5 with Green Bay against the Jets. We were 0-2 on NFL group locks.
Oh man. Well,
it was a rough weekend.
Brett,
What side?
Next week.
What side did you have on the Army Navy over under? What point number did you come in at, or did you?
I did not. But the last one I saw was I think 28. But I think there were a lot of 27.5s out there.
But there were some 28s and 28.5s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoo! I think what I saw at that morning, I think mine was still at 28. But that safety at the end got it to 28. So
it sure did.
Right at the number. Hey, Brett, Vegas knows what they're doing.
They really do.
They know what they're doing.
They got big, long slide rules and big computers and a lot of MBAs.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Maybe a protractor or two.
Maybe a couple, yeah. I don't know.
They're really serious about it.
Yep, they're serious about it, and they usually get it pretty spot on.
And we're serious about it on Monday night, and we've enjoyed it all year, and we've enjoyed going to Ruth's Chris all year, and we're going to enjoy it. 3 of us are going to enjoy it, and you can as well with your holiday get-together, whether it's date night, a birthday, or after a big win. Celebrate the right way. I know a lot of Tiger fans are going to want that great place to go. After a Liberty Bowl win over Iowa State, go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and let that be part of your celebration in regalia. I know you can hear the sizzles, and this is how celebrating and enjoying Monday Night Football and big games should be done. For any occasion, treat yourself to one of the classic USDA prime beef steaks, seasoned and broiled to perfection, then serve sizzling hot on one of Ruth's signature 500-degree plates. Trust me on the temperature and trust me on the great time that you can have at Ruth's Chris Memphis in regalia with plenty of safe, free parking. Kevin Johnson, the GM, Jared Wells, his executive chef, and what a team they have. They want everyone to know about holiday get-togethers, party plans that you can have for there and for New Year's Eve. That's the place to start New Year's Eve out. Open for lunch on Sunday, happy hour Monday through Thursday 4 to 6, and Sunday from 3:30 to 6. Most hospitable steakhouse in town, and those gift cards perfect for the holidays. Patented boiling method. Hear the sizzles and enjoy Monday Night Football on all the TVs. Visit ruthschris.com to make a reservation and celebrate the right way at Ruth's Chris Memphis. Okay, all these teams playing tonight and the Big Four. This is hard because there's a lot of really good quarterbacks out of these franchises. Yep. Don't forget in Houston, Warren Moon.
Oh, man.
And that's a legend. That's a legend.
I didn't even think
Don't
about
forget a cup
days.
of coffee in Houston, Kenny Stabler.
Yep.
Ooh, another legend.
No, there's some good names for all 4 of these teams.
Then the Giants, Charlie Connolly, Wade Tittle, and quarterback Phil Simms, and Eli Manning. Well, who's your Big Four?
Brett,
I think number 1 out of these teams is easy.
I hope so. Brett, I have 2 OLIs for my Big Four. Because, 4 teams. How am I supposed to pick 4 quarterbacks?
So you're jumping out there really with 6 then.
That's right. My first OLI, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
He's played on 2 of these teams.
Fitzmagic?
Fitzmagic?
Brett, he's been a part of 2 of the teams playing tonight. How can I leave him out?
That's hard to argue with.
50% of the teams playing tonight, he's been their quarterback. So he's got
He is tonight.
He is tonight. So he's got to at least get a shout out. Brett.
I love it.
Unfortunately, my second OLI is Eli Manning.
Okay.
Would you believe he's mine? He's my
really?
5th.
Wow.
Yes, and
I'm shocked,
I guaranteed Friday that he would be in there, but he's not because there's 4 spots.
4. That's right. That surprises me, Brett. Number 4 for me, Steve McNair. Oh, fun player to watch. Loved watching him with the Titans. Number 3, Bart Starr. Wow, how could you have a list including the Packers without Bart Starr? Number 2, how could you have a Packers list without having Brett Favre on it? And number 1 for me, he wants to come back, and we said it a couple weeks ago. If he comes back and plays this year and wants us all to believe that he tore his ACL, he'll be number 1 athlete ever in any type of list. Aaron Rodgers, number 1 for me in the 4 teams playing tonight.
Okay.
You just had 6 names, and one of them wasn't Dan Marino.
Brett, my list, you know? I mean, it's my list. I mean,
He had fixed magic.
I mean, it's right here. You can see all the scratch outs and circles and stuff. Oh,
Number one was easy for me, and I don't care what he did or didn't do on Super Bowl Sunday. It was Dan Marino. Number two, you have him on your list, and I have really never had put it together until this weekend, working on this and thinking about this. And this is full compliment. I know they would take it that way. Number two is Bart Starr. Bart Starr and Eli Manning were almost the same kind of player.
Yeah, they really were.
Just got it done. Rode good run games. Rode good defenses. But their team looked to them. I had never thought about how closely really they are, and they're gentlemanly, courtly, very kind manner off the field. Packer for life, Giant for life. Number two, Bart Starr. Number three, Brett Favre. Number four, Aaron Rodgers.
Wow, I like it. It's a good list, Brett.
Yeah, both good lists, y'all. Good list.
You know, Dan Marino's number is retired by the Dolphins and the Miami Heat.
I did not know that.
I forgot about that, Brett. Oh,
I did not know that.
Oh, man, I forgot about
That's
that.
legendary.
It's a great
Number
point.
13 is in the rafters for the Miami Heat.
That's amazing. I did not know that.
Wow. Steve McNair, I love you, man, but you're going to OLI. Bart Starr, you're moving down to fourth. Dan Marino just jumped up.
You moving Marino in there?
Hey, he's number 3 for me.
And Marino, when he got the ball kind of behind the right ear, cocked and fired, ready to let it go, he got, along with Namath, I don't know anybody that got it from that position to the receiver like that.
No, you're absolutely right. But yeah,
now Marino could run all day and not get out of sight.
Well,
I mean, a little bit like Eli. I mean, you get those two in a relay race, and it could take a while.
Well, that is a good point. No, but I mean, I completely forgot that the Heat have Dan Marino's number retired. I mean, how could I forget about that, Brett?
I think I'm right on this. I think at every level of football, his last high school game, I know at Southern Miss, and I think at every NFL stop, the last pass Brett Favre had with every team he was ever with was an interception.
You're kidding.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Because he was the riverboat gambler type.
You know, the gunslinger. I mean, you take a lot of risks, you throw a lot of touchdowns, throw a lot of interceptions.
Also, he's the NFL Iron Man with the consistent games. He don't miss games.
No,
he didn't, and played, all shot up. So did Steve McNair. Everybody we've mentioned today, they were the Iron Men. Johnny. Eli Manning,
Ryan Fitzpatrick,
always every Sunday. Fitzmagic, McNair, what he played with everything busted up and tore up.
And Eli had that Iron Man. He was on the hunt to break Brett Favre's record until they brought in Daniel Jones.
And set him down.
Yeah. I see we've got the NFL pregame show on ESPN, and they're
The Mentalist.
The Mentalist, Oz the Mentalist. He loves the NFL loves them some Oz. I mean, he's always on these shows.
What about the day he was at Michigan? Did you see it this year when he visited Michigan?
I missed that.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he's insane.
How does he do this?
Brett, I don't know. I used to love magic as a child, so, I can tell you a lot of magic tricks, how they're done, but Oz the Mentalist, I don't know. It blows my mind. I mean, what?
He's better than the tarot card readers in the French Quarter.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the during Hard Knocks this year with the Jets, I mean, some of those that he did, I was like, that is incredible. But I don't know.
It is some freaky stuff, isn't it?
It really is. But it's going to be two really fun games tonight, I think. I mean, I think any Monday night that you have two games,
it will be.
It's going to be a fun night. Now, one of them could be a blowout. I'm hoping it's a blowout for my Miami minus 13.5. But we shall see. We should see what happens. Like I said, we're going to have broadcast of that game, Titans at Dolphins, tonight at 7 p.m. But let's go ahead, get to our final break of the day. When we come back, we'll wrap up today's show with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Want to do something you can't do anywhere else? Join me in Sports 56 at Top Gun Memphis Thursday, 11 to 1, and shoot for free when you mention Sports 56. While you're there, buy the ultimate Christmas gift, the fully automatic machine gun package for only $89. That includes 3 different machine guns, ammo, range safety officer, and the shooting lane, man, all for just $89. See you Thursday at Top Gun Memphis, Witten Road, with machine gun package and Liberty Bowl ticket giveaways, TopGunMemphis.com. Try it, shoot it, buy it.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Merry Christmas from Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. We're here to make your holiday season extra cozy and cheerful. For the first 50 customers who purchase a new Carrier system or tankless water heater, we have a special gift for you. Choose from a free 75-inch smart TV, a PlayStation 5, an Xbox X, a Nintendo Switch, or a $500 gift card on us. It's our way of spreading holiday joy. But hurry, this festive offer will only last through December 24th. Enjoy a comfortable Christmas and a special present from Choate's. Because when you choose us, you're not just a customer, you're family. Schedule your free estimate today at 901-347-8086. Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Let our family serve your family this holiday season. Wishing you a warm and joyful Christmas from Choate's.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Once again, here are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live.
In your life have you seen anything like that?
Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, what I learned today, it was a busy one for Ja Morant, who took the stand today for close to 3 hours talking about an incident that happened a couple of summers ago where he got into an altercation with a 17-year-old during a pickup basketball game. There was a lot of moments that people thought were odd or humorous or why are we doing this right now, him and his attorney showed everyone what a check in basketball looks like. He had to explain to the judge how to mute people in Zoom. At the very end, the judge told him to go play some basketball, and he responded by saying, I still got a little time left before I can do that. Then he tweeted out, return soon, 8 days, 4 games. But I also learned over the weekend, Brett, that Adam Silver plans to meet with Ja Morant before his return to the court. He talked about it in a press conference before the in-season championship game. He said, we together laid out a program for him over the last several weeks, and to the best of my knowledge, he's complied with everything he's been asked to do. He said he'll meet with him some point this week to just kind of go over everything and kind of just let Ja Morant know that there is no more doing this. He's not fooling around. Again. No, not at all.
The league's not fooling around. This is the last gun issue they're having with Ja Morant. What I learned, the NBA literally sent out the memo out to teams, make it a big deal, the in-season tournament, and they did. Yeah. They made it matter. They spoke it really into existence. I wonder where LeBron will put that MVP trophy, though. Will he put it over by a team pick of the Nike ABCD camp, a team pick when he was 14? It was so over the top to me. I mean, and just everybody getting the memo of saying, talk about how successful it was.
Well, and Brett, the tweet you sent me from Shams Charania saying that the Lakers will have a banner for the in-season tournament that's going to hang.
That's sad.
I mean, how about that? Brett, I told you there was a banner coming. What I could have done.
Here come the memes next spring.
Oh man, oh yeah, they're coming for sure. Especially if someone can get a picture of what the banner will look like or something. Oh man, get ready for it. Brett, what I could have done without. Johnny Radio put me onto this story earlier today. This happened over the weekend. Texas high school basketball players and older brother beat up his high school head coach, after a game this weekend after he was benched. That's crazy. I really have nothing more to say than that is insane. You get benched in a high school game and you and your older brother go and beat up the head coach?
That's
crazy.
Okay, I could have done with this without this. I really have. I've searched high and low all day to get an address where we can all flood the place, where we can get a big old get well card for Jordan Brown. Come on, let's quit playing around. Big fella's not ill.
No, he's not. He's not. And those whispers have been going around all weekend, and just curious when maybe we'll get some word one way or the other, if he's going to be healthy for Saturday.
We don't need to send chicken soup.
No, we do not. Brett, where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me to Miami. Always take warm South Beach over cold the Big Apple. The Packers are the go for it 6-6 team, or are they? Because there's a lot of other teams. Denver's going for it, it feels like now. And Buffalo we talked about, but the Dolphins, they're the go for it 1 seed. They're the go for it win it all team.
Brett, I've been so excited to tell you where I'm beaming tonight since the start of the show. I guess an hour into the show.
Give me the sport. Let me see if I can guess.
Baseball.
I can't guess.
Tonight in Venezuela, we have a home run derby. It's already started at 5 p.m., so beam me to an hour ago so I can watch it in its fullness. Here are the first round matchups for this home run derby tonight. Rougned Odor versus Eduardo Escobar. Francisco Alvarez versus Jose Rodon. Wilson Garcia versus Eugenio Suarez. Gleyber Torres versus Anthony Santander. Jackson Churro, the prospect for the
Give me Gleyber so far.
Versus Ronald Acuna Jr.
Give me Acuna now.
And the matchup of the night, Yasiel Puig versus Miguel Cabrera. Sign me up.
Yasiel Puig makes an appearance.
I love it.
13 NBA games tonight after the in-season tournament conclusion that had confetti, stages, trophies. We are the champions. The Lakers win it in the bubble. They win the in-season tournament. FedEx Forum for the Grizzlies and the Mavs tonight.
That's right. A big NBA night tonight with all of those games. Grizzlies in action tonight will be fun to see what they can do against the Mavs team that has a handful of injuries. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy your night. We'll do it again tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock.
If you look at the website for 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination, you'll see the phrase sophisticated steakhouse serving elevated entrees. That just about sums up 117 Prime. If you want to have a truly special dining experience, then you can't beat sophisticated steakhouse serving elevated entrees. There are plenty of places in Memphis to get a steak, but there's only one place that pairs sophisticated with elevated entrees, and that's 117 Prime. If it's time for you or someone in your life to celebrate in a way that makes you feel sophisticated and elevated, you can't do better than 117 Prime.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Rich Eisen here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Don't miss any of the primetime action this season with Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer quarterback Kurt Warner on site calling the game, and I'll be on hand from the studio for the pregame and to wrap up the weekend's action. Join us on air and on the free live stream, sponsored by AutoZone, for Monday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
Screeching brakes? Safer stops? Start with Duralast. New Duralast brake pads and rotors provide longer life and more stopping power when replaced together. Duralast brake pads have reduced noise and corrosion resistance with a limited lifetime warranty. Duralast rotors are designed for quiet, safe stops and meet or exceed the performance of the original rotors on your vehicle. Find Duralast only at America's #1 brake destination, AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and